Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. There's the camera there. Welcome to KUMBTV's Eyes Up Mother Brown. We are live. Well, one quarter of us are live tonight from Belgium. There he is, the Pink Palermo, coming live from the stadium. In the studios tonight is myself. We've got Gnome.
Hey, Rio.
And we've got Rio.
Ooh.
And we're going to go straight to our man who is in the stadium. He's there. He's live in Belgium for us, bringing us live updates throughout the evening as we go on. It's our man, the Pink Palermo, who's just pressing his unmute button. There we go. Pinky, how you doing, buddy? You all right?
Yeah, doing good. Good atmosphere building here in the away end. It's
excellent.
Whatever they call their ground here. Good turnout from our lot again, as you'd expect. Probably about 1,500 here, something like that. And teams just coming out now. So Genk are coming out. Never heard of their lot. So no one famous, obviously. Although we did clock a picture of a certain Mr. Trossard, who I think is a former player of theirs at this club. So I think playing straight at Brighton these days. But huge atmosphere here from West Ham United supporters. And I think a very strong team put out by the manager. I think a comfortable 2-0 win tonight, Graham.
Excellent stuff. Let's quickly, before we are, as we say, we are about to kick off. We're very late tonight. Noam, would you like to take us through the teams for the benefit of all of us here and for those watching on the live stream, please?
I will indeed.
Thank you.
Start with the home side, Genk. Start with Van der Voort in goal, then Munoz, Sadiq Aliou, Luke Ortega, Heinen, Torsfet, familiar name here but no relation, Paitzel, Horovsky, Ito and Onuachu. And for the Hammers, who we'll probably line up a bit 4-3-3, we have in goal Areola, then Soufal, Dawson, Diop, Cresswell, Noble, Rice, Lanzini, and then Benrahma, Antonio and Masuaku. On the bench for us this evening, we have Fabianski, Zuma, Fornals, Bowen, Ogbonna, Fredericks, Souček, Johnson, Kral, Randolph, Chesters and Baptiste. And the referee this evening is Alexander Stavrev, who's from what we must now call Northern Macedonia, I believe.
Okay, excellent. Good stuff. No, thank you for the teams. I'm going to go back to Pinky quickly because he's going to have to leave us soon because, as we said, the match is about to kick off. How's your journey, Pinky? How's the stadium? How's it looking? Is it full up the away end as expected? Sorry, buddy, you're on mute.
Yeah, the away end is absolutely packed, as you'd expect. I suspect there's a few more sticking around than were previously advertised because it looks a lot more than 1,000 here to me. But excellent turnout from our support. I mean, they've come literally over land and sea, all four corners of the globe. Great turnout by our support. Good atmosphere. I mean, the Genk lot, it's not a sellout here tonight. I mean, their expensive seats look probably a third of them are empty. So I estimate the crowd at probably about 20,000 this evening, something like that.
Okay, excellent. Well, we can see on our TV screens the players are out on the pitch now exchanging pennants. Pinky, could you give us a quick scoop round the stadium just to show everyone at home there's the away end, as you can see. Hammers fans in full voice, stretching back right the way down the concourse there. And the pitch just behind Pinky. There it is right there. So we are live at the stadium, just about to kick off there. You can see the players are out on the pitch, all ready to go. Excellent stuff. Our man, the Pink Palermo, live there at the stadium throughout the evening, bringing us all the latest anyway. Pinky, get yourself off, go and enjoy the game. And if you get time, come and join us at half-time. We'll have another chat then, hopefully, with a couple of goals to talk about if all goes well.
All right, cheers. See you later.
All right, buddy, you take care. The Pink Palermo there, coming live for Eyes Up Mother Brown's programme, live from Belgium this evening. As I said, it's myself, Rio and Noam, joining you on this journey through the game this afternoon. We've met Noam already. We haven't said hello to Rio. He's been sitting there patiently waiting to come in. Rio, how you doing, buddy? You good?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Bit of a lingering cough, but there you go. Looking forward to tonight's game, though. Couple of little surprises for me in terms of the magnitude of Sunday's game. I'm surprised that both Declan and Mikel were starting.
Yes, very surprising.
Nico Vlasic, I presume, must be injured because he's not even on the bench.
Yep.
Yeah, and also Aaron Cresswell. He's been rolled out and flogged once more for another 90 minutes.
The man needs no rest, does he?
He needs to go and get a break, the poor son.
I don't know if that says more about Aaron Cresswell or Arthur Masuaku, who you'd expect to replace him. But there you go. Anyway, Cresswell's back, and that's not a bad thing. He's been absolutely outstanding, hasn't he, so far? The players taking the knee. No, mate, what are we looking forward to this? I think when we asked everyone for their predictions on Sunday last weekend, we was all going for a win. Are we still going, for a Hammers 3 points?
Yeah, definitely. I think I may be ahead of you if you're on feeds at the moment. I'm 35 seconds into the game, 38, 39, 40. We've immediately gone on the front foot, although the ball is back in our half at the moment. But, it's and we're just sort of, I'm not sure if the Genk players really properly touched it yet. And having said that, we give it away. But not much happening at the moment, but exactly 1 minute gone now, and away we go. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we do have a little bit of difference. Rio, I'm on 44 seconds now. How about you?
I've only just kicked off.
Excellent. So we should have three different reactions.
You're to me then.
No, you can jump in if anything live happens, please, if you will. Yeah, sorry, if anything interesting happens, should I say? As Rio and I are some considerable margin. But Rio, we're gonna have to miss that instant enjoyment of a goal if it happens again. Unfortunately, it looks. But hopefully
we'll wave, won't it? I'll go like that first, then you. Then
I'll go and get a cup of tea first, and then we'll come back. Yeah.
I'm not. I'm doing the next away one from the bloody pub. I tell you.
I've got a lovely picture. I've got to say it's absolutely perfect, but unfortunately a little bit behind. Anyway, minute and a half gone in my stream. Anyway, that's 2 minutes in Gnomes and 35 seconds or whatever, or a minute in Rio's. And it's Genk nil West Ham United. We did say, Gnome the team. Rio expressed a little bit of surprise there that Noble. Sorry, not Noble. That Declan and Mikhail are in there tonight. What do you think the idea behind that is? That's for you, no?
Oh, for me. Sorry, I was concentrating on going what you said, Rio. So we're just before we get back to that, we've got a Pates who is on the pitch. Diop's just nicked the ball off him and he's just gone rolling around on the floor.
Who does that remind you of?
Not a foul, and probably not even painful. I think Pates was optimistically looking for a foul in the hope that it'd cover up the fact that he really just lost the ball very cheaply. The game stopped just to make sure he was okay eventually, and the referee wasn't fooled. He stood right, had a very good view of it, and the ball's dropped back with us, and it's now back to Fabianski, and we can go again. We're talking about the team, the lineup with starts for Antonio and Rice. Very surprising. I guess, in a way, I suppose you could say that we want to put the Europa League qualification out of the way as soon as possible. And I think if we win tonight and the other match ends in a draw, I think that's pretty much us qualified. Even if the other match doesn't end in a draw, you'd still got a win tonight. You still got to fancy us. Now, hang on a second. We're 1-0 down.
Oh.
Now, that's just gobsmacking. There was a ball played behind, and just trying to think. And it's Patesil, the bloke who couldn't walk a minute ago. Just got around past Diop and clipped a shot from the edge of the box that went in. Just looking now, I mean. Ariana got a hand to it, but flicked it and it went in off the post and 1-0 down, which is something of a shock.
It is, but a little bit disappointing with Diop's defending. I mean, I can imagine Pinky's going to be going apoplectic out there in Belgium tonight at the way he's, Paints was just stunning for pace there. I think Diop had a good head start in there, and the shots gone across Areola, and he's sort of got a finger to it, but it's just clipped the inside of the post. And I think the most surprised player on the pitch was probably Paintsill, because he seemed to turn away and almost surprised it had gone in. Rio, Genk 1, West Ham United 0. Not the best start.
No, not at all. We saw in the home leg of this game, they've got a lot of pace up front, and they did hurt us a couple of times. And that's a little bit reminiscent of what they did a couple of times at the London Stadium.
Yep.
But yeah, he said, I don't think either central defender covered themselves to glory. There was a massive gap in between Dawson and Diop.
Yep.
And Diop's one covering. He's been caught out. And I believe that's the first goal that Alfonso Areola has conceded for West Ham United.
Yeah, I think you're right. First goal in the Europa League we've shipped as well, isn't it? But
yeah.
Anyway, I suppose if you're looking for any positives, not that you can really take any about conceding the goal so early, it's that it has happened that early, Noman. We're not sort of 80 minutes later and the first goal's gone in. At least we've got plenty of time to come back. And as we have seen time after time in the last year or so, West Ham certainly have the propensity to do that, to come back from a goal.
I mean, obviously, since the goal, Genk have got their heads up and they're knocking it about nicely, and we're containing them, and then they're not looking dangerous or anything like that. But we're not actually. The first few minutes, we were on the front foot and we were looking at imposing ourselves on the game. We're not doing that now. We're sitting back and obviously going to play on the counter, which is as Rio said, their main tactic was trying to get the fast ball and catch our defence square. And it happened a couple of times last week or week before, whatever it was. And so I'm just keeping an eye on the game here. The ball's back with the Genk goalkeeper. Antonio nearly nicks it off him, but we need to be pressing a bit more, I think.
It was, as you say, it was a very similar story, wasn't it? A couple of weeks ago. I mean, they had the ball in the net, didn't they, after 10 minutes or so, I think it was.
Yeah, I mean, that one
was a very, very marginal decision to rule it out, but started well again.
Saw it. I mean, I was at the game, obviously, and I was getting messages about, you were saying it was quite close. When I actually looked at it, it was a good, decent chunk offside. It was one of those ones where don't look at the players so much as look at the way the grass is mowed. And the Genk player was in a different stripe to the nearest West Ham player. Genk are on the attack again now, and Patesil's played it out wide to Ito. Now they've just forced the corner. Ito's just went to put the cross in. It's just been blocked and gone out for a corner. But Ito's having a good little game. It's it's a nice turn, and Diop's just asleep there. He really is.
It was a little bit.
Anyway,
take us through the corner anyway, and we'll bring Rio in right after.
On the Genk right, our left, comes across, and that could have been two. There was not much of a challenge there. Let's have a look at it again. And it's Heinen's headed it, and it's been tipped over. Another corner, which comes out. And another clear header, another save from Areola. This is terrible at the moment. And they're trying to get a cross in, and it's blocked, and now we can bring it away. But West Ham all at 6s and 7s at the corners there. Two very good chances for Genk from both corners. And Areola had to be awake, certainly. First one he tipped over, the second one was a little bit more at him. But this is not good stuff, guys.
Yeah, it's not. And I'll tell you what, actually, I've got to give huge credit there, Rio, to Areola. I mean, the first one was a good save, but the second one was even better.
And Curl tries to curl it around the defender, which he manages, but it curls it wide, curls it over rather than wide the keeper.
Okay.
That's terrible defending. No challenge at all on Onuachu, who's a tall lad. I think he's about 6'7", something like that. But there was no challenge at all on him. That's poor defending.
Yeah. Rio, just seen it yourself. A couple of really good chances for Genk to go 2-0 up. And that second one, I mean, to allow a player like that much space in the area, criminal really. But full marks to Areola for being alert and, pushing that round the post. Good save.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just seen it because I'm so far behind. I think my stream's getting worse, actually. Areola has been at the races completely. He's absolutely furious. But we cannot afford to give teams like this time and space. Onuachu is an absolute massive unit. We just, for a team that's defended so well in every cup competition so far, every cup game, we look like a bunch of strangers at the back there. Diop, who I thought over the last couple of weeks has improved and improved, and one of our key players against City last week. He looks completely lost.
Yeah.
I hate to throw in a general type of stereotypical "we're in Europe" comment, but I know from experience the quality of Belgian beers is some of the best in the world. I think Issa and Craig have been on it all night, haven't they?
Well, that would be a valid excuse, I suppose, because they certainly haven't started. They certainly need a livener of some sorts. Anyway, 11 minutes gone. Genk 1, West Ham United 0. The Hammers started off really, really slowly, fell asleep in the opening goal, coming after just 4 minutes. Paintshill, who seconds earlier did a bit of a Nakamba, as I suppose it will now be known, rolling around on the floor as if he'd been poleaxed, when he'd barely been touched, rising to stick the ball in the back of the net to give the home side a lead. They really deserved home, I suppose you'd have to say.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's see how we go on now. As Antonio's just won a corner, which will be on our left-hand side.
Okay.
Genk have not looked good against set pieces, and we're not on Sky, so we won't see that stat that keeps coming up. But Noble's on the ball, taking it on, and he's taking it short. Cresswell puts the ball in, and it's headed clear to the edge of the box. Ben Rama's on the ball, looking to get the cross in. Cross is in, and it's headed back. And shot comes in from, I think, is that Ben Rama on that side? I'll have a look again in a second. Saved by the keeper, and Genk have brought it away. Now, Genk got goal side on that left-hand side of theirs, but we hold them up, and crossfield ball comes to the right-hand side, and Cresswell will shepherd that all day long. Though they make a bit of a mess of it, but Rice tidies up, and now Lanzini can bring it clear. He's knocked off it there, but he's still got the ball. Plays it out to left to Antonio, who's now bearing down on his marker. Antonio, still got the ball somehow, and ran into traffic, but played it off the defender. That looked like a corner to me. Now the cross comes in. Diop headed it across. Antonio couldn't quite get on the end of it, and so you've got the shot in there. That was Soufal who hit the ball into the ground, and it wasn't the most difficult save for the keeper. I'm not sure that might have counted, because looking at the build-up there, with VAR involved, I think as the cross came in for Diop, he might have been given offside. He looked just a foot or so, but play went on, and we've got to keep hold of the ball better than this, though. I mean, Antonio held the ball up and then just gave it away just there, where, you get the impression if we can actually get a spell of possession and bear down on a lot, they won't be long in the breaking. But, you got to have the ball to do that. Yeah,
indeed. Just having a quick look at the stadium now. I mean, we heard it from the Pink Palermo just before kickoff, saying that he reckons there's about 20,000 in there. It looks like there's even fewer than that, judging by the spaces that's around the stadium.
Very sparse, isn't it?
But it certainly looks it. But anyway, West Ham beginning to feel their way back into the game, Rio. It's been a dreadful start. I should say, of course, hello to everyone who's joining us on the live stream. Good to see you. Spence, David, Hobo, Andy, all the usual characters. Hope you're all very well, ladies and gentlemen. And let's hope we'll see a West Ham goal or two before long. Rio, 13 minutes gone. Better from West Ham. Soufal going close there.
Yeah, much more promising. Although just in the aftermath of that, and we defended incredibly poorly again.
Declan's about to pick up the yellow. Itu was running through. He got the wrong side of Declan, who just flicked a leg out and tripped him up. Absolutely no problem with that yellow card. I'm presuming he's getting one. They haven't shown it yet, but I'd be gobsmacked if he didn't get one for that. Yeah, he's just come in from the side and just taking him out, basically. There'd be no complaints when that card finally gets shown.
Rio?
Yeah, sorry, because I'm behind, I haven't seen it yet. And I've just lost my mainstream again.
They got a free kick, saying about 35 yards out or so. They're just waiting to take it at the moment.
Right, we'll come back to you in just a second. Rio, come. No, just hold tight for a sec. Let's just bring Rio in if we can. Let him finish what he was just going to say there, Rio.
No, so what in the aftermath after the Sufel thing? Well, I still haven't seen the Rice thing yet because my screen has gone blank now.
Okay.
I've got a commentary but no visuals. Yeah, we again a little bit of laxity at the back, a couple of sloppy passes, which could bring us into even more trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very un-West Ham like, very un-Moyes like at the moment. So we really do need to sharpen up out there.
Certainly do. Fortunately, the free kick came to nothing. No, did we see a card issued there for Rice? I didn't see it.
It was issued. The capture came up.
Right.
We didn't actually see the picture of the ref doing it, but he was no way he was going to get away with that one. I'm not sure what the yellow card stats are at the moment, and where that leaves him, because I think if you get 2 in the qualifying stages or in the group stages, you miss the next group game or something like that. So I had it in my head that he had one, but already in another match. But we'll break back to that in a minute, because Genk are on the attack again, and they've got one over on the left. Terrible control, but they still managed to keep hold of it. But Rice steps in, but that's a terrible ball out from Diop again, and there's a shot from the edge of the box, which Ariola's doing his nut at the moment, because we're not clearing the ball when we should be. What the hell is Diop doing there? And give him a shot, terrible shot, mind, but it's they should be getting these shots from the edge of the box.
Yeah. I'm just seeing that now. It's not good defending again by the Hammers. Just to clarify that point that you were just making there. No, Rice doesn't have any yellow cards yet in the Europa League. He picked up cards against Crystal Palace, Southampton, and Brentford in the Premier League, and also for England against Hungary in that 4-0 win. But none so far in the Europa League. So. One more to go.
Antonio nipped on a loose ball, but needed to stretch to get a first touch, which he did. But the second guy just had to put too much on it. But good challenge coming in from the side there from the. I think that might be Lukumi. Antonio on the ball now, squares it to Lanzini, plays the ball out left. There's Masuaku on the ball. Tries to get a cross in. It hits the defender, who is the first to react and manages to save the corner and put it out for a throw-in. So a little bit more possession. I think this is one of these things. I think we need to get the next goal. And once we do, we need to sit down and say, right, back to level terms. Let's start again. And let's do what we were going to do at the start, not what we have done. So throw in sort of maybe about 18 yards, about 20 yards from the goal line. Play down the line to Antonio. Plays it. Tries to play it into Cresswell, and Noble tries to win the ball back, and that's a poor challenge from the skipper. And now Genk come on the attack, and they're attacking in numbers. Itu again, who's looked very lively, going down the right hand side, gets the cross in. It flicks off Masuaku, I think that was. And again, what's his name? Onuachu is in it gets away from Diop, who makes no challenge whatsoever. Heads over. We could be several down here. The defending has been shocking.
Yeah, it's pretty woeful stuff from the Hammers. Of course, that opportunity, that header, and again, it's Onuachu. I believe, who was free in the area, and it all coming from a. Hopefully, you're just about seeing this now, Rio, but it all sort of stemmed from a Mark Noble mistake, 35 yards or so from the opposition goal, giving the ball away, and we could be 3 or 4 behind right now, couldn't we, Rio?
Absolutely, it's absolutely woeful defending at the moment, and it's really hard to pinpoint what exactly has gone wrong. It's a lineup. A defence that served us so well in the cup competitions this season, but they look like they've never played with each other, and it's absolutely shocking at the moment. Nothing seems to be going right. I was just going back to the forum in the aftermath of the first goal.
Yes,
Diop naturally got a lot of criticism.
Guys, Paintstill's. Oh, that should be another. Terrible. We had some good work from Ben Rama to win a corner. The corner caused a bit of consternation, but again, ball was given away. They broke quickly. Paintstill went down right-hand side, their right-hand side, squared it back for, I'm not sure, that might Itu again, who was acres of space, totally unmarked, screwed the shot wide. This is not good, West Ham. This is really poor.
It is. Should have put the ball in the back of net. And again, we're architects of our own downfall here, aren't we? Now, Ben Rama on this occasion giving the ball away. It's sort of a similar place to Noble in that last attack.
Yeah. Now, seems Areola's caught the lurgy as well. He's just put a goal kick straight in the touch. Shout at himself. Moyes is there. The face is like thunder. That is vintage thunder face from Moyes there.
Yes, he didn't look very happy when we saw him.
With the ball back, and Ben Rama's gone past the player, but he's taken out there by Lukmi. So free kick to West Ham, about 34, 36 yards out. Let's have a look. I'm just showing it again, and yeah, the guy's just taken Ben Rama out.
Okay, well,
they're just lining up. Stay with me for the free kicks. They're just lining everything up at the moment.
Okay.
So Cresswell's looking over it. He's on the ball and he's going to swing up. Yep, Cresswell's played in and well, good chance for West Ham. Is the flag up there? No, it's going to be a corner. I think it was Dawson got on the end of it. Let's have a look now. Yeah, Dawson got on the end of it, tipped over the bar by Van der Voort, and corner at West Ham. So first proper chance for West Ham. That was probably going to just drop under the bar as well. So good save. Came off as it often does. It came off a combination of Dawson's head and shoulder, rather than a clean header. A clean header there would have got us back in the game. So anyway, corner on our right hand side. Cresswell to tape, so that should swing in. Swung in, it's a bit low, flicked on, and what's the referee given here? I think he's given a goal kick, yeah. Again, one of those ones low in at the near post, which I think that Diop tried to flick on and just played it straight out. So not a good corner.
All right, okay, good. Thank you, No. Best chance for West Ham so far, Dawson the header. Interestingly, Van der Voort curiously quite a long way off his line there and could have been caught out, but fortunately for him, nothing happened. Rio, you were going to the forum where I'm sure it's going to be going quite well. I'm sorry to be
hogging this, but there's a lot happening. Itu ball played, Dawson got goal side and Areola came out. As Areola came out, he took the ball cleanly, but Itu fell over Areola's legs and is now sort of crumpled in a heap. I think they're trying to make a traffic island out of him or something. He's not clearly not particularly hurt, but he's just want to take the sting out of the game. Which is this break might not be a bad thing for us. There are a number of players over there. Speaking to Moyes, who's presumably the conversation is not light-hearted, shall we say.
Okay, well, we'll come back to that in just a minute. Rio, we can finally get to the forum now. You were going to run through what...
There was a lot happening.
what the guys were saying there.
Yeah, in the aftermath of the first goal, obviously, Diop took a pelters, and rightly so. But also, Areola got a couple of comments of criticising him. He was too slowed down, didn't do enough. Arthur Masuaku's come in for a criticism because his touch is awful.
Yeah.
There is most pertinent comment really come from Rich 61 Dixie, who's a long-term member of the forum. Yeah. I can't repeat it all because there's a few expletives, but you can get the general gist of it, that we're absolutely shocking and we could be 3 or 4 down by now. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Rio. Fair comment, no, really. Yeah, I mean, what do you make of that criticism of Areola? Do you think there's anything in that?
Another day, that touch and it takes it the other side of the post. So I don't think he could have got much more on it. Now, ball played down the right towards the penalty area. And Lukmi gets across. And I think with Antonio sort of looking interested and puts it out for another corner. So, come on, West Ham. Let's see one of these set-piece goals that we keep hearing about.
About time. It's been 20 minutes already. We still haven't scored. What's going on? All right, we've only had one, but it's not the point. Noam, take us through it if you will.
Yeah. So that's going to be Cresswell out there again on our right hand side. Yeah. Observant linesman making sure there's the requisite number of blades of grass underneath the ball. Signal from Cresswell. It's played a bit longer this time. Dawson gets on it, but not enough on it. Again, probably not off his head cleanly, and it just loops into the arms of Van der Voort. So nothing happening there. But Dawson seems to be the when they do play it into the box as opposed to the near post. Dawson seems to be the current target.
Been quite prolific, hasn't he? Actually, in the last year or so from set pieces.
I wonder how dangerous, how many goals he might have.
Yeah.
If he actually headed it cleanly once in a while, because it always seems to come off this area here.
26 minutes gone. It's Genk 1, West Ham United 0. It could be Genk 3 or 4, West Ham United 0. Such has been the dismal start that West Ham have made to this, our fourth outing in the Europa League. Unbeaten, of course. Maximum points up until now. We hadn't even conceded a goal prior to tonight. We conceded one after just 4 minutes this evening. For those of you just joining, coming in from work and catching up, and we could have conceded 2 or 3 more since. It's been dreadful so far from West Ham. Rio, what's going wrong out here at the moment? What's the problem? Is it just a question of overconfidence, or perhaps the team just thinking that they've already qualified, or something a little bit more concerning?
It's really hard to pinpoint. I mean, we're obviously a confident side at the moment. Every right to be, because we performed so well all season.
Yeah,
maybe it's the little switch. I think because I'm not sure if we're playing with a strict back four or Cresswell's tucking as a third kind of centre back, and a little disruption with Arthur coming in, who hasn't played all season. Maybe that's kind of disjointed the kind of flow of how we're approaching things. Going to a bit of a back three, maybe affecting things, but
yeah,
they're professional footballers. We've been on form, and we're used to kind of switching systems all last season.
Yeah.
It just seems like maybe it's a little bit overconfidence at times. We certainly haven't learned lessons from the first game, because we knew their pace would hurt us.
Yeah.
We knew how dangerous they were on the counter, particularly with Ito. It's just
come in there, Rio.
Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to be troubled by Ito anymore, Noam, does it?
Yeah, Ito's off the pitch at the moment. He went down again. They did seem to be getting a substitute stripped and ready, but Ito's still stood on the side. So we'll keep an eye on that one. But the game's back underway again. We've got the ball. Rice is played in. Benrahma tries to get a shot in, but delays it just that 1 second too many. In fact, there was an offside there, so would have all come to naught. Anyway, Ito's back on the pitch. It looked very much that he was as if he was going to come off completely a minute ago. You got pictures of, I'm not sure who the sub was because you couldn't see his number, but let's have a look now. Well, Benrahma's been given offside there. He wasn't. Not that anything came of it, but that's just a poor decision.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on that one, because Ito, as Noam says, there was down for a prolonged period of time, I think, following that knock when he went up against Areola. But as Noam says, he's back on the pitch and carrying on. I mean, he is Rio, isn't he? He's their key man. We saw that as much as everyone had been talking about Onuachu. Ito definitely was the key player for Genk in the first leg, and seems to be quite instrumental here again tonight. Yeah,
his pace will cause so many problems. Well, I would say to most teams, but he does it with a lot of purpose, and his delivery is pretty good as well. What we've seen, he's very much their star player for me. And forget about Onuachu. I don't think he does enough. Ito is a serious threat.
Yes, 29 minutes gone, and still Genk 1, West Ham United 0. Wayne Charlton suggesting it might be jet lag. That is the reason why West Ham is struggling. There's no smiley face or exclamation mark, so I'm not sure whether Wayne's entirely serious or not there, but probably not. But not a good start for West Ham. Third of the way through, Noam. It's Genk 1, West Ham United 0.
Yeah, and nothing much really sort of happening at the moment. I mean, Genk, we're not causing Genk any problems other than set pieces. And even then, we're not really sort of causing them too many problems because, we're getting shoulders onto it instead of heads at the moment. And Genk are now playing it out from the back, and we're not putting them under pressure. And this is not a good West Ham performance by any stretch of the imagination.
On which, Noam, if I may just interject briefly,
well, hang on a second. Paintsil's, Diop's done well in the end there, but Paintsil looked like he was going to get round Diop again. Diop this time got across him and drew the foul. But again, though, it was just it just got the wrong side for a second there, far too easy for my liking. Diop not having a good game. But anyway, it all ended well with that free kick, which Areola takes long.
Okay, just hold that there for a second, Noam, if you can.
Well, hang on, Rama's done well. He was going to the box, but final ball again. Doesn't get anywhere near a West Ham player, and there's nobody following up for the loose one, and Genk can bring it away again. Story of the game. Sorry, back to you, mate.
Terry Land, friend of the show, friend of KUMB, says this is obviously a few minutes ago, but he said 20 minutes in, and this is the worst I've seen West Ham for some time. Ball retention abysmal. And a guy called at Mark Noble, another friend of the show, who quite often appears on the show, Nick, of course, says, this is awful. We're not at the races here. Can't argue with that, Rio, can we?
Not at all. I have to agree with Terry. I think this is probably the worst performance I've seen us put in for over a year now.
Yeah.
I know we set high benchmarks now, but we have dropped off a cliff tonight, which is surprising as Belgium's very flat.
Very good, very good. Jack Elderton, who is a member of the KUMB podcast. This is the worst, carrying on with the theme, this is the worst West Ham have played for years. Noble, Masuako, Diop, all horrible. Noam, over to you.
Yeah, Noble was, just another couple of shots. Noble was far too lackadaisical there, I think. I think it Noble. Let's have a look. Yeah, Noble was it Noble or Andrew? Anyway, a shot came in, well saved from Areola. Got down well to his right to keep it out. But, that was another shot. That was on target. That was from Heinen, that shot. The second shot was from Heinen, which he put a few yards wide. But, come on, West Ham, this isn't us.
Yeah, very unusual. Very, very poor. I think everyone's... Chris Wilkinson, another member of the KUMB podcast, asks, how early is too early to make 3 substitutions? I'm not quite sure which 3 he's got in mind there, because I think there's a case for 9 or 10 at the moment. But anyway, everyone very, very unhappy with what they've seen so far, and not surprisingly, because West Ham have not been, as was said just a minute ago, not been at the races at all so far. But of course, as we have seen time and time again in recent months, this West Ham side do often do this. Well, not often, but can do this even in these superb modern times. Have a really dodgy spell and come back and turn it around. So we've got to hope. We've got to hope. I mean, it's been good up to now. We've had a really good run in the Europa League. Of course, defeat tonight. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. But it wouldn't mean it wouldn't be too bad for West Ham the way things are going. But not looking so good right now. Rio, any more thoughts on the KUMB forum from our fellow Hammers?
Nothing's really stood out. I think someone said also the formation change that we've tweaked with hasn't really helped. Yeah. But no, basically the general consensus is that things are absolutely abysmal on the pitch. It's very uncharacteristic, and we actually can't wait for half-time to David Moyes to get in the ear rolls of a few players.
Yeah, very true, very true. Quick breaking news for you. Reece Oxford, remember him? He's just extended his contract with Bundesliga side Augsburg for another 4 years. So well done to Reece. Had a very dodgy spell, but playing really, really well over in Germany at the moment. No, Issa Diop been brilliant, hasn't he, in the Europa League up till now? He's put 3 really, really strong performances alongside Craig Dawson. But, I hate to pick on individuals because it's clear the whole team isn't playing well, but he's having an atrocious night out there so far.
He is, yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong there. So just saw Lanzini get sort of pulled back by the shoulder. That must have been borderline yellow. But yeah, it's just not looked on the pace at all. Patesill's got the measure of him by sort of he's finding when they play that long ball in. Sorry, just a little bit of possession for West Ham now. Rice can bring it into space. That's played into Antonio, who just lazily gives the ball away, and no foul. I think is that our mate Patesill again? He's absolutely he's doing an Akambu or whatever his name was. He's rolled around like anything. This time, the other time he just went down like a heap. But that was terrible from Antonio. It was so lazy. Just see what happened there now. He went past Diop quite easily, but having gone past Diop, he's one of those ones where he seems to be clear. He thinks he's going to lose the ball, and maybe a little bit of sort of knee contact, but he's gone over. That's a 4 rolling over. That's as opposed to Nakambu's 5, I think it was. A little bit of contact there, but it wasn't instigated by Diop for once. It was more Patesill caught Diop's knee than the other way round. But
I'm not quite sure why he's rubbing his thigh there. No, because I think contact was on the. Actually, I've seen it.
Yeah, just above the knee. Yeah, it looked a little bit lower, but the rolling over is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones that could be painful for a minute or two, sort of thing. But you don't roll over. He's clearly sort of played the ball a bit too far and realised he's going to lose it. So a bit of spray isn't going to harm him one way or another, is it? So it just goes down. If the referee sees the contact in a certain way, he might give a free kick. It wasn't, but so you go down just in case. I think
I think there's 5.5 rolls there. I've caught up, I think, a little bit. 5.5 rolls. But what really is disturbing me is the over-vigorous rubbing of the thigh. That's nearly X-rated, to be honest. It's 6:30 of an evening. You can't do that on national TV, surely.
Is it national TV?
Very enthusiastic. Well, I mean, we're just seeing some shots of the Genk fans. They're in dreamland at the moment. They can't believe this as much as we can't believe it, I don't think. But just have a quick look around the other grounds tonight. Not many goals in the Europa League so far this afternoon. Galatasaray, Lokomotiv Moscow 0-0. Sociedad Real Sociedad, Sturm Graz 0-0. Brøndby and Rangers 0-0. Lyon and Sparta Prague 0-0. Monaco and PSV also goalless. There are goals, however. Olympiacos and Eintracht Frankfurt 1-1 so far, and Legia Warsaw beating Napoli. Bit of a surprise there, leading by 1-0. And of course, a surprise here in Belgium this evening so far. Genk 1-0 up against West Ham, and quite frankly, it could be 3 or 4. Such has been the difference between the two sides in this opening 38 minutes or so. West Ham hoping to build now. We really need to get our foot on the ball. And we've done this quite a bit, haven't we, lately? We've scored the odd goal towards the end of the first half. Could certainly do one with one here tonight.
Sorry, I'm just moaning again. Great work from Ben Rama, and Antonio's been fed on the edge of the box, but doesn't do nearly enough to warrant getting a shot in because he's blocked. We just seem very short of ideas at the moment. And when Ben Rama does something a little out of the ordinary, as he did then, then Genk look, they're gettable. You do need Antonio to be sort of firing there in that sort of situation. As Noble goes sliding in with his boot up and no foul, but it's very, very scrappy period at the moment. And we need something different. And it's all very predictable at the moment now.
Certainly is. I mean, I'm just having a quick look now to see. Again, we haven't got an awful lot of options on the bench tonight. I mean, attacking wise, you've really only got Fornals and Bowen. I mean, good players, of course. It'd be good to bring them in, but 2 goalkeepers on the bench again, and quite a few defenders. Fredericks, Johnson, Zuma, Ogbonna, Baptiste. That's 5 of the 9. Souček and Král, of course, the other 2 substitutes. And I wouldn't be surprised to see one of those with Declan Rice on the pitch. But Do you think Rio? This is there's a little bit of tiredness perhaps creeping in. I know it seems madness to say this. Bearing in mind we're only in the first week of November. Do you think that's that's possibly an issue here?
Yeah, I think that's definitely an issue. And although we're rotating a little bit, we're still using 3 or 4 players week in, week out and flogging them. I thought part of, I know I said it on Sunday, I shouldn't really moan about a manner of a 4-1 victory, but I thought at times we looked a little bit leggy, a bit tired, both physically and mentally, which I think contributed to the fact that although we won 4-1 and the scoreline was convincing, the performance wasn't. And this is definitely rolled over into tonight's performance. Declan, who's obviously a key player and stands out every week, has looked pretty ordinary. But everyone else, the lack of passes, the lack of movement, the lack of energy, it's beginning to show. It's the start of a long season, and it's not looking good at the moment.
No, it certainly isn't. No, would you go along with that? Do you think tiredness is an issue?
Oh, again, Antonio, a bit slow there, but almost played in. We've still got a ball. Declan plays it out wide. Declan gets it back down right in the corner at the moment, looking for some help. Goes all the way back to Noble, who has to travel around. And this is where Genk are good at the moment. They push up and you get players sort of 10, 15 yards in the Genk half. Suddenly haven't got any options ahead of them and have to go back. But Antonio seems to be a half a yard short of pace at the moment. Good work there, sort of kind of put him in, but he just was so slow off the blocks. It was, didn't have any sort of option, and they cleared it fairly easily.
Maybe he's saving himself for Jamaica.
Now, good ball down the line finally from Cresswell Masuaku. Plays a square ball in along the ground, and Benrahma comes in, should be 1-1. Benrahma comes in, doesn't get enough on it, and the keeper spreads himself, and Genk can build. And now we've got 2 against 2 at the back here, and another fine save from Areola. Well, we nearly got caught on the break there by, I think, is that Paintsill again? Yeah, it's our mate Paintsill. Curling in another shot, they're definitely going in. Turned away by Areola. Good goalkeeping again. But so should be 1-1. The ball from he's come in. He should really be putting he's trying to sort of just tap it, and it's basically a keeper. It's just rolled up and hit the keeper on the body. Corner to Genk at the moment, anyway. Played out Areola. Well, Areola could have caught that, should have caught that, and but Genk make a mess of trying to keep the ball, and Antonio now brings it away. Now, can he keep hold of it? No, he runs into traffic again, but Soufal comes away, still got the ball there. He's got about 3 players with him, and he's trying to get past, and he's fouled his opposition number 5. But it's not looking great in defence there. They're just showing the Benrahma effort again. He's just side-footed it in, and the keeper's just stuck a leg out, and it's just come off him. He really should be side-footing that. He should be giving it some welly, and that's 1-1.
There's a brief moment there, Noam, where we saw perhaps the worst bit of football we've seen for some considerable time in a West Ham match. I think began with Areola's rather poor punch out.
Yeah, and then
there was a pass immediately after that was equally as bad. But
Antonio's here. That's it. That's not got in. I think they're saying that's not gone in. I don't know. They've got the same technology, but Rice is shaking his head. Well, let's see what's happening here. There's Benrahma plays in Antonio. Antonio gets the shot and it goes under the body, but that's some fantastic defending there by, I'll tell you his name, number 17 there. Rice was getting into ease that over the line, but yeah, Horosovsky, fantastic defending, but again, a little bit more welly than that, and that's 1-1. So as Antonio slips and gives the ball away again, you may notice a theme developing in my frustration here. We got 3 minutes of stoppage to play. As Rice does well to pick up a loosish ball from Noble. Noble on the ball now, sprays it out wide left to Cresswell. Cresswell plays it into Antonio in the box, the end of the box, out to Masuaku. Masuaku gets the cross in, it's flicked. It bobbles about and we don't put it away. We've got to flags up for offside again. So just looking at this, they're showing the goal line decision thing. It's on the line, but it's not anywhere near over it. It's marvellous defending from Rozovsky. So, well, given that we could have been 3 or 4 down, we've had chances to level it, and we're beginning to get a little bit more into the game. I mean, I'm trying to be optimistic here, but we've got another just over 2 minutes, or just under 2 minutes rather, left of stoppage time to play. And let's put it this way: I hope, for the sake of the people of Belgium, that the away dressing room was soundproofed.
I've got to say, that's one of the best clearances I think I've ever seen.
It's superb, wasn't it? It was,
there.
Yeah,
Harry managed to get that, hook that off the line, especially with Declan Rice in close attention, was absolutely incredible. And I think, let's be frank, gents, if we'd have scored there, it would have been an absolute outrage, quite frankly, given how much under the cosh we've been. But anyway, we are approaching the final few seconds of the half. Rio, what did you make of that clearance? Pretty good, eh?
Fantastic. Yeah, one of the best I've ever seen, certainly. As you see, you got Declan bearing down on him. But it's the only real clear-cut effort we've had, and it's just not good enough.
Crying out loud. Sorry, we got in a good position there, and Soufal didn't play any sort of hopeful ball, trying to play it back, and nothing came of it, and Genk to bring it away now. Sorry, 45 seconds or so to go. Sorry, Rio, but it was just something happened in there that needed talking about.
Oh, mate. Yeah, I have a couple of things from the forum to bring up at half time. One is an air of optimism, which we desperately need. And also, someone has also pointed out this is David Moyes' 1000th game in charge of a top-level football club. I think the actual players on the pitch are pretending it isn't a top-level football club, so I can get in a victory on Saturday or Sunday. Sorry.
Yeah, of course, we forgot to mention that. Moyes' 1000th game in management. He's come a long way over the years and finally ended up at the mighty West Ham United, but not looking so mighty now, Noma. I believe that's half time.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, just as Masuaku's done up like a kipper, and pulls the Genk player down by the hips, and Genk have played well, but we've allowed them to. It's really, really poor from West Ham. I say they could have had a few more. Good news is they haven't. The good news is we can now have Mr. Moyes tearing them off a strip, and maybe that'll sort of galvanise them. I mean, a goal just before half time would have been nice. Just showed it again, and Antonio was a little bit unlucky because it went under Van der Voort's leg, and he took just enough off the pace of it to allow. Let's see if I can pronounce this. Porosovsky, to get back and do that marvellous clearance, but not good enough. West Ham sorted out.
Sounds like a dodgy jewellers. Anyway, it's half time. Genk 1, West Ham United 0. Could be Genk 3 or 4, West Ham United 0. Such has been the difference between the two sides, and West Ham's awful performance so far. I'm just kind of glad we haven't flown all the way or travelled all the way out to Belgium to watch this game tonight, because I think I'd be absolutely fuming had I done so. With perfect timing, someone who has actually made the trip out there is right about to join us live on the stream. It is the Pink Palermo. who's just connecting now while we speak. And well, I mean, this is going to be interesting. I mean, to hear what to hear what Pinky's got to say about that. And I've got a feeling that a certain Mr. Diop might be coming in for pelters from our man in the stadium.
Mr. Diop bingo time.
Oh, look at the face! Look at the face!
Yeah, just a touch.
Pinky, we know how you feel, and I was just saying, you know, we're sitting here at home watching this. We haven't put our hands in our pockets and done the miles tonight to go and see what has been an absolute combination of a performance so far.
Yeah, I've not got a great signal there, lads.
Can you hear us? We've got you. You're fine. If you can hear us.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say, I mean, which West Ham do you want to talk about there? The West Ham the first 30 minutes, the West Ham the last 15? Because there's no doubt about it, we were still on the bus for the first half hour, and no one on the bus for all the Diop. He was still parked on the bus. The opposition exploited it, and in they go, you know. Yeah, but you knew it was coming because it's the truth.
No, we did. But we would just say we wondered how long it would be. But I mean, no, you're right. He's been dreadful. But you know, no one's really put in a shift tonight, have they, Pinky, so far?
Not really. We've come alive a little bit in the last 5-10 minutes, but suddenly we've looked at a whole different team. But, you know, again, we turned up here tonight, wrong attitude, wrong approach, still on the bus. Of course, cold, they've taken an early lead, and they have a plan. I'm not sure what ours is to be honest with you.
What do you we were wondering, Pinky, towards the end of that first half, whether there might have been an element of tiredness involved in this tonight. I mean, I think you're right. The attitude has been wrong from the start. But do you think sort of fatigue is perhaps creeping into this side now? It seems crazy, as I said, bearing in mind we're only at the start of November.
No, I'm not having that. Let's be honest, there's only 4 players out there who are regular starters week in, week out. Yeah. So the fatigue argument did me a favour. I think what he's done, I think he switched Diop and Dawson around, so one left and right. He's made a change there. I think Kufal, if I'm being completely honest, still doesn't have to set fit to me. But I'm not having tiredness uses it. Maybe tired minds, but not tired legs.
All right.
You know.
It sounds like you're having a bit of a rave there at the moment. There's some Belgian techno pumping out in the background by the sound of it.
Yes, which is improving my food no end. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's all right. It's pretty good.
Well done. No, I mean, huge support for David Moyes and the Stout game in charge tonight. We just had a good 10 minutes of David Moyes' character army. So the one thing the team cannot complain about is a lack of support. And they've been well supported here tonight. The fans have turned up. The team haven't. And I'm expecting to see a much improved second half performance. Because if we don't see that, we're going home with nothing tonight. We need to work harder, move the ball quicker, and be more positive in our approach. You know, you think we were playing Real Madrid the way we've approached this. We've had 2 very good chances, which we should have scored from. You know, Ben Rama will have nightmares about how he's not put the ball in the net with his chance. But you've got to take them. It doesn't matter whether you're playing Genk, Man City or Liverpool. You have to take your chances. We've had 2 good chances, haven't taken either of them. Genk have had probably 3 good chances and taken 1 of them. And that's the difference so far.
Okay. Well, let's have a quick recap of the first half. No, let's go right back to the start. 4 minutes gone. We'd barely started the stream and we were a goal behind. Paintsil leaving up, as Pinky said, leaving Diop for dust, getting in behind and putting the home side ahead.
Yeah, the lively Ito, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce his name, but he's looked lively all night, and he had a nice turn and played. It was a good ball, but Diop was I don't know what he was looking at. He was, staring at the stars, or I don't know, doing some ornithology. But he was certainly on his heels rather than ready for the run. And Painter just got past him with consummate ease. I mean, I think Painter could have jogged it, never mind run it, but he did run it. Got the shot in. Ariola got down, to say another day that might bobble around. But yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at it now, and Diop's just jogging here, and as Rio quite rightly points out, there's a large gap for Paintfield to exploit between Dawson and Diop. But yeah, it's just jogging there, and I mean, Areola gets down sort of sharpish, and you know, I think, as I say, another day that might go wide, but I know we seem to be Diop bashing, but he's having a lousy game today. He really, really is.
Yeah, well, he certainly got off to the worst possible start there. 4 minutes later, we could have been 2, could have been 3 down. 2 corners, Areola tipping the first one over the bar, and then the second one, an even better chance for the home side. Onuachu completely unmarked, 6 yards from goal, and a header well saved by Areola again. And that was really the story of the rest of the half. Soufal had an effort pretty well saved. And then, of course, we saw Declan Rice take one for the team by getting booked. And then Onuachu had another header, 19 minutes. Ito dragged a shot wide at 60 seconds later. Dawson then, of course, had a chance for West Ham. The header that was dipping under the bar tipped over by Van der Voort. Pantsil, another couple of shots. Antonio had an effort. And then, of course, West Ham's best chance of the game so far, Rio. It was Arthur Masuaku who broke down the left. Masuaku's been very, very quiet so far. Broke down the left-hand side, squared the ball for Ben Rama, and I think we all thought it was going in the back of the net. Yeah,
I think it's only positive contribution Arthur's made all night. He's not only been quiet, but he's been his usual defensive liability self. He's been very lax on the ball. He's wasteful. But when you give him the chance to get at teams and he actually switches on, he can provide quality like that. But as Pinky rightly said, Ben Rama would be absolutely having a few nightmares about that missed shot opportunity.
Yeah, he certainly will. Within 60 seconds, another chance for the home side, for Genk. It was Hainan this time who cut inside, left Dawson, for dead on the edge of the penalty box, cut inside and forced another save from Areola, who probably has been West Ham's best player, actually, when you look back at that first half, just by dint of the number of saves he's been forced to make. And then Pinky, bang on the end of bang on half time. Antonio put the shot in, evaded the keeper, went underneath Van der Voort's body. We all thought it was in. So I don't know what it was like for you guys there at the stadium, but somehow, and we were discussing, saying that probably the best goal line clearance we've ever seen, or certainly can remember seeing, that save from Hrozovsky, where he's just hooked it off the line with Declan Rice ready to put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, in truth, it wasn't all that close. There's a good foot between the ball and the line. So it was never going to be a wasn't opportunity. It was it's one we should be scoring from. So let's just kid ourselves. There's 2 really good opportunities that we missed out on there. But Rio's comments there about Arthur Masuaku, absolutely bang on. I mean, some of his control tonight has been from the superb to the diabolical, but not much in between. Yeah. And maybe it's that lack of consistency that makes it very hard for the manager to pick him for anything other than games that really you get a second chance at. Tonight, bearing in mind, as I said, there's only 4 first-team regulars who are starting tonight. Of the remainder, you'd only really say the keeper's enhanced his reputation to any significant extent. The others, you can say, well, that's why you're not starting every week, lads, because you're not better than the players in front of you. And I would certainly put young Ben Johnson ahead in the pecking order, ahead of Soufal at the minute. I think he's more dependable. I think a couple of times we've seen Soufal come bombing forward and then just gaping holes left behind him. And he simply isn't working hard enough to get back. It's not about positional sense. Let's just work great. And it's nice to have a nice contract where you don't have to run around. That might sound a bit harsh, but he's got to do more. Or is he just going to pick up the money as a reserve team player now? I don't know.
Yeah, he's certainly been off the boil, hasn't he, a bit this season? I don't know if it was the fact that he didn't really get a break having played in the Euros, but of course he wasn't the only player who went through that. There was a lot of players who played through the summer and haven't really had a break. So it's a strange one. But I think you're right, Pinky. I think, you know, Ben Johnson certainly shown Moyes to be right. Let's quickly take a look at the match stats before we get the second half underway. Possession 47%, Genk 53, West Ham shots 10 shots for Genk, 5 on target, 8 shots for West Ham, 5 on target. Surprisingly, actually, when bearing in mind what we saw. But I think Pinky's absolutely right there, that West Ham really did come back into it in the last 10, 15 minutes of that first half, and hopefully that's good omen for, you know, for what's to follow after the break. 3 corners to Genk, 4 for West Ham. So statistically, we're quite close, even though, you know, there seemed to be a virtual chasm between the two sides for the first half hour, slightly closed in that second 15 anyway. But let's quickly have a look at just some of the scores from elsewhere in Europe this evening. Now, Galatasaray 1, Lokomotiv Moscow 0. Real Sociedad a goal behind at home to Sturm Graz, a bit of a surprise. Brøndby beating Rangers 1-0. Lyon and Sparta Prague, our new sister club. By the looks of things, goalless Legia Warsaw still got the goal lead against Napoli. Olympiacos and Eintracht Frankfurt 1-1 still at the break. Monaco and PSV 0-0. Of course, there are more ties which kick off at 8 o'clock this evening, including the other 2 teams in this group, Dinamo Zagreb and Rapid Vienna, kicking off at 8 o'clock this evening. Noam, we're still in this somehow. How is that?
Areola's kept has been strong when he's been needed to, and you know, up until now this season, we've rarely let our opponents test the goalkeeper too much, whether it be Fabianski or Areola. Today, we've just said, you know, go ahead, guys, help yourself, and Areola's been fine. The only one sort of moment with him that I really had an issue with was one where he came for a ball where he was unchallenged and it would have been easier to kick. It was that moment of rubbish football all round where he punched one he should have kept, and then the Genk lad took a sort of swipe at it and it went behind him rather than forward, sort of thing. So, but Areola's kept us in it. But you know, we just need there's no creativity in it. And where we're trying to do the sort of one-touch passing sort of stuff, well, it's not working because the one touch is lax. It's flying off in a different direction. It's going straight to the Genk player. When it's been played to Antonio for him to hold up, he's not holding it up, and it's coming off, and Genk bring it away. Okay. You know, they're just showing Pico. You obviously can't see this, but yeah, the ball did get onto the line for that clearance, but it was a marvellous piece of defending. Yeah, what happened was the shot went, the keeper stuck his leg out, and the shot went under his leg, which just took enough pace off it to allow the defender to sort of slide in and hook it away. But it did go onto the line.
It was very close.
The second half anyway.
Let's bid farewell to Pinky, because I'm sure he wants to get back and watch the second half. Pinky, hopefully we'll see you at the final whistle, and hopefully we'll all be smiling a bit more than we are right now. Anyway, enjoy the game, buddy. We'll see you again soon.
Yeah, we'll do. And I think we can still get something from this. But if I'm being truthful, we've got to be a little bit careful in full time. I'm hearing reports of a few, should we say, nefarious incidents from the Genk support towards our lot. Hopefully nothing too serious, but if I'm not on at full time, that's why. All right, that's
all right. Well, stay safe out there, buddy, and look after yourself. And hopefully we'll see you in an hour or so's time anyway. But enjoy the game. The Pink Palermo coming live from Genk for us. The game is, of course, underway once again, as Noam pointed out. Rio, substitutes when, who, and how long before we do it?
I would have made a couple at half-time already. The most I'd leave it is 5 or 10 minutes. If the things continue as I did in the first half, 10 minutes maximum. I'd bring on Crowell for Noble. And we're missing the energy of Pablo Fornals and Jarrod Bowen. So Masuaku goes for Fornals. Bowen, well, I'm not sure exactly who I'd replace him for, but because you could perm anyone from 3 or 4, because Lanzini's been pretty anonymous.
Yeah.
Antonio has been woeful. So, yeah, one of them two.
Okay, good stuff. We don't know what David Moyes said to the team at half-time known, but we've just seen Declan Rice go on a 70-yard burst down the left-hand side. Didn't come to anything in the end, but looked a bit more lively there than he perhaps did in the first half anyway.
Yeah, but he got down to sort of the corner and again, ran out of ideas, ran out of options. He too's just had a very optimistic shot from about 35 yards, which troubled no one other than supporters behind that particular goal. I mean, it was a long run, but it just ran into a blind alley and then nothing happened. Now, Antonio's held on to it well and turned, and we've retained the ball for once. Now, ball down on the left with Masuaku, who does some nice footwork there. Plays the ball down, Cresswell on the overlap. Antonio misses it. Noble puts the ball back in across, but it's cleared again. Good half chance there. Now, again, we go on the attack and Noble tries to play. Let's have a look at this cross. Cross comes in. Antonio misses it. So it's Soufal plays it in back into the box with no real conviction. And nobody gets in the end of it and it's clear. But it's a good work out on the left there. And we're going again now. Benrahma rather should have been fouled there and the referee agrees. Free kick to West Ham. So a good couple of little touches there. Benrahma's just been sort of dragged back and then a leg stuck out him. Bit of a false start for the free kick. Noble's now replacing the ball at the place where he wants it to take him from. And so Noble slings it in. And ball comes out to the edge of the box. Benrahma slips as he gets the shot in, and it's cleared high. Not much distance on it. Lanzini doesn't quite control the high bouncing ball and get it away long.
No. And if I may interject, Andy Welsh says that I think we're losing today because I haven't asked Gnome what today's prog T-shirt is.
Oh, that'll be it. It's it's a chap called Clive Mitten who, for this particular album, was calling himself the Sea Live Collective. Clive used to be in a legendary prog band called 12th Night. He's currently sort of resurrecting a little bit of career by remixing and redrafting 12th Night stuff. So there you go. Clive Mitten.
Is that 12th Night? 12th Night as in evening or the bloke with the sword?
As in evening, as in Shakespeare, as in January the 6th.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Feast of the Epiphany.
There you go, Andy. Hopefully that is the that's all we needed to turn this game around. Well, we're clutching at straws perhaps, but that's all we've got at the moment right now. It's been pretty tough. Rio saying that he reckons we're going to be making some subs soon. Rio.
Yeah, I mean, I'd give it 5 minutes to the maximum. It's been a bit of a brighter start than the first period, but it's still not great at the moment. Just to counter the musical thing to the more rock-minded members of our viewers. Before the game, we had a bit of techno beat out from where Pinky was involved. You said he'd be apoplectic. I'll just check. Apoplectic are actually Suriname's #1 rock band. I'll be checking him out after the game.
So we got in good position there. Masuaku got to the byline, but pulled it back behind everyone. We've still got a ball, and this is a little bit of sustained pressure that looks a bit better than the little spells we've had in the first half. But Antonio comes deep, turns, goes forward now, plays the ball into Benrahma. Benrahma wriggles around and gets a shot in, but it's blocked again. This is a bit better from West Ham, but Noble should have been playing that down the line, or the run should have been made. But we've still got a ball. Rice now central, plays it out left, so that'll be Cresswell out there. Cresswell's looking to play, plays it into the box. Antonio on the edge of the box. Oh, nice turn, and nearly played. Might have been Benrahma in, but well spotted there by the Genk defender. But Genk are now not holding the ball very well, and there's Cresswell out on the left. There's nobody to cross that into, though, in the box, and he's holding on to it, looking for help. Again, no, that's loose from Masuaku. And that little spell then just comes to an end as Genk win a free kick. A throw-in. Now then, it's just looking at Benrahma wriggling his way through the box, which is a nice little run, and he does get the shot in, but it comes off the backside of the Genk defender, who turns his back on it, and it gets cleared. It's Thorstvedt, the son of the former Tottenham keeper. Better last few minutes from West Ham, but just again, all the hard work keeping under pressure, just undone at the end by a very loose ball from Masuaku. And as I say, so that little spell's now done, and we've got to win the ball back and regroup again.
It's interesting, actually, in the first encounter between the two sides in Stratford, it was Genk who started the second half very, very strongly. And then, of course, for 5 or 10 minutes, and then West Ham overcome them. But it's been very different here, hasn't it, Rio, since half-time? I mean, clearly, the boss has had words, and it's having some effect, whatever it was he said. I mean, no sign yet of any changes, but, you know, I mean, you obviously can't see a team that's been admonished, but or tell that they've been admonished in any way. But, you know, I think the evidence is there before us on the pitch, isn't it? The West Ham seem to be a different side so far in terms of energy and enthusiasm even.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's no surprise that he's had a word in the area, because that was a shocking first half. We need to change the complete culture of the way we've approached this game. It's not been good at all. A couple of things from the forum that come out of the half-time discussion is that I think Genk might be a little kind of bit like Leeds, where there was pressing us incredibly highly.
Antonio falls over yet again, sorry. He was played in nicely by Benrahma, but his first touch took him far too wide. And he played a very sort of lazy-looking attempt to get the ball. Now, Itu's gone straight past 3 or 4 people, including Diop. Ball played out wide to the right-hand side of the box. He doesn't keep it in. And so it's a goal kick to West Ham. But Benrahma's looking lively.
Good. Needs to. They all need to look a bit more lively.
Yeah, I mean, I think Antonio was trying to get a shot in there, but it was very weak, and the defender was easily able to block it. So,
okay, good stuff. Rio, but sorry, no, Rio. Let's jump back into the forum. You were.
Yeah, there are a lot of people saying that this mob look a little bit approaching the game like Leeds. They try and press us hard, a lot of energy and work rate in the first half, but people are thinking they're going to fade, and when they do, we'll be able to take control and exploit them.
Okay, let's hope they're right. A long way to go still, but West Ham's still trying. No, I think there might have been a potential claim for handball there. We just saw the replay a few seconds ago.
Well, come back to that. I didn't notice it myself, but our referee, Benrahma's wriggled away. He's beaten 3 players and he's been hauled back, and that's a yellow all day long. Let's say Benrahma's beginning to sort of call the shots in mid one. As Thorstvedt has just hauled him back. When he turns and he starts to run at them, they haven't got an awful lot of an answer to him.
Yeah,
and you know he's left 2 or 3 for dead, and the only way they can do that is just by hauling him back. And I don't know what Thorstvedt is complaining about there. Free kick to West Ham, central, halfway between the penalty area and the box, and played in by Noble. Keeper comes a long way and punches it away with Antonio looking a bit interested, but ball's back with West Ham, and we're getting turn the press a little bit. Cresswell then tries to do something different and loses it, but we win it back. This is what wasn't happening in the first half when things were breaking down. We weren't winning it back, and Soufal then just beats himself, and I say we weren't winning it back. Well, we've given it away, and Genk can really break now. They're a bit slow on the break there, but that's a nice ball round the corner, and ball played in. It's Onuachu's there. We kind of managed to muddle it away there, but that's more by luck and judgment, really. We're still sort of penned in a little bit, but Noble now plays the ball down the line, and Antonio, well, it's come off Antonio, and it's a throw at Genk. Antonio's another one who's not really impressing me this evening. I'd rather he'd be sitting there with his feet up. And right, we've got 3 subs coming on. There's Bowen, Fornals, and Souček are all stripped and ready to come on. So we'll wait and see, and what's going to happen there. So
good. I was just going to say, I mean, prior to that chance, yet again, it was West Ham conceding possession that gave Genk the opportunity to break. And on this occasion, it was Soufal with a really lax touch and something that you don't see often from him. But as Noam says, it looks like that triple substitution is about to come. Rio, I think you called that about spot on. You said 5 or 10 minutes after the second half, and there they go. There's the trio ready to be introduced.
Yeah, we was actually building a little bit with purpose and intent, but we did need to change the dynamics. And there's a couple of players out there who still haven't really contributed all game. So I'm hoping they're going to be the ones to make way. We definitely need Bowen's energy. We definitely Fornell's exquisite touch and his work rate and energy. Souček, I presume he's going to come on for Noble. I just worry about him being tired because he's one of the ones who's looked the most lethargic in recent weeks for me. Yeah, he could have done a full-time break tonight.
Sure. No?
Yeah, it's Bowen on for Antonio, Masuaku. Sorry, that's the wrong button here. Masuaku's off for
Fornells, presumably.
Sorry, just try to see who Souček's come on for. Sorry, just press the wrong button and we wrote. I missed that bit. I'm not sure who Souček's come on for, but I'm just trying to see who's not out there.
It's Noble.
Noble, is it right? Yeah, cheers.
See Noble skip off, which is as Rio called. But Declan Rice, going to be playing another night. Well, of course we can make more subs, but he's going to be playing a fair chunk of the game at least anyway. Again.
Yeah. So a nice turn there and lively ball played in now. Soufal plays it back and it's 1-1. That's a great goal. Excellent goal. Excellent football from West Ham. And everyone's running across. Van der Vaart's not looking too happy, but it was a lovely, lovely ball inside the fullback. And for once, the pull-back cross was perfect. And Ben Rama's sort of shaking hands with everybody, but it's a lovely turn, and we're looking through here. That ball inside the fullback is beautiful. Yeah. Play back, Ben Rama just buries it. Wonderful football.
Brilliant stuff. The introduction.
Yeah.
Sorry, no. The introduction of the subs making an immediate impact. It was Soufal who pulled the ball back, but quite a few players involved in that move. Cresswell at the start, Declan Rice threading it through, Ben Rama instrumental down the centre. Fornells also involved, and a lovely ball back from Soufal to Ben Rama, Rio, and we should be out of sight. I mean, the home side should be out of sight by now, but here we are, and who knows? We could still win it.
Yeah, I think it's game on now, definitely. And I think we're the ones who are going to turn the screw and win this game. The introduction of these players, we've seen it time and time again this season, how well they interact with each other. And that was an instant release of like the kind of capability we have. You bring in Bowen, you bring on Fornells, you bring on Souček, and 2 or 3 of them involved straight away, and a fantastic move. And an exquisite finish there. Hold
your horses, Guy. There's a VAR check going on. My worry is that no check's over and it's a goal. So I was a little bit. I don't think he was, but
what were they checking? Though the Soufal perhaps being offside?
No. I did wonder if Bowen, who was sort of in the middle and kind of in the goalkeeper's eye line, might have been in an offside position. I don't think he was. The fact he's in the goalkeeper's eye line was irrelevant because he was onside. But I think they might have been checking that just to make sure. Goalkeeper, it kind of went through him more than anything else when you see it from behind. But now there's, as we saw with Genk, there was a springing out their step when they scored. Well, we've got ours now, and we've won the ball back, and we're attacking again in numbers. Ball played into the box. It's been Rama, lovely little ball. And that's a good save by the keeper. I'm not sure there's an offside there or not, but let's have a look again. Van der Vaart is. I think they've given an offside. It looked at first glance, it might have been sort of thing, but again, though, attacking with intent. It was a good little passage of play. So Ben Rama just strayed a little bit there, but good save, and because obviously Van der Vaart wasn't to know that, and. tipped the ball away. But yeah, let's keep this up. It's been a much better second half. I mean, not that that would be particularly difficult, but now Bowen plays nice interplay with Lanzini and Rice, and we've now got it spread. We're spreading play nicely. Not quite there. That nearly sort of. Well, we've won it back. Now Benrahma's won it back out left. So Fornals is there. Benrahma and Fornals and Cresswell playing some nice things, but Benrahma finally runs. But again, we win it back. They're giving it away more than us. Benrahma, Benrahma's claiming at least a free kick, and it was right on the edge of the box, maybe a penalty. He got past the player, and there was a leg out. One of those ones, though, I don't think you're going to get. And Rice picks up another foul. Rice might have to be a bit careful. Let's have a look at this again. Well, giving him offside in that earlier move, and I don't think it was. But yeah, Van der Voort got a hand behind it. But anyway, we go again.
Okay. Well, hold it there just a sec. No, I just want to go back to that potential penalty shout. Rio, did you see anything in that? Do you think there was Benrahma had a claim there?
I've still not actually seen it yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Just about to come up for me.
Again, they haven't shown the replay of it, but the referee was unimpressed. Paintstill nearly got past Dawson there, but he's been forced back. But Genk are on the attack now. It's now the Genk right, our left. Ball played into the box there. And, just try and overplay it a little bit. Rice has to do some footwork to get out of that. We're still a little bit penned in on the left-hand side, but Rice does very well. But we lose it again. But we've now come away with it. Now we can break here because Benrahma's on the ball. We've got 3 against 3. Benrahma bearing down and goal, plays it left. Ball play, far too much on that for Bowen to get. Fornals just put far too much pace in it. We really should be 2-1 up now. So just showing the goal again. And that's just gone through the keeper's leg. So,
well, here we are. 64 minutes gone. Genk 1, West Ham United 1. It's all to play for. Now, the Hammers, as Noam said there, have been a different side in the second half so far, really helped by the introduction of Bowen, Fornals and Souček. And Benrahma, for one, looks like a different player this half, and certainly in the last 10 minutes since that trio came on. Rio, what's the view on the KUMB forum match thread right now? I'm hoping everyone's a little bit happier.
Yeah, and it's also a couple of people claiming that they're prophets, but they called exactly the same substitutions as I did. So, it's not that hard to work out who was the most lackadaisical players we had. So everyone stop claiming yourself as footballing geniuses. I said it as well.
They're just trying to steal your thunder, mate. That's what it is.
No. I don't get much in life, you know what I mean? Give me something. But yeah, everyone's just really happy with the way we've actually approached the second half. The changes have made a positive impact. Chadwell Chafford's put, if we're about to get Pete Lanzini back, then I'm going to be extremely happy. Because, again, he's anonymous in the first half, the introduction of the 3 subs, and he's come alive. Where was he? And where was half the team in the first half?
Yeah. Yeah, it's... Sorry, Ria, was that it? Was there more?
Yeah, no, it's pretty much everyone commenting a similar kind of thing. It's like someone's flicked a switch on our club again, and we're back on track.
Yeah, it totally is. Totally is.
We're moving forward here, so that's a good time to come to me. It's been played back, but during a little spell of possession, nice little ball inside there. Lovely little ball to Bowen, who's in the box, plays it out wide. Gets played square to Souček, who's trying to. It's all a bit tight in there, trying to make some space for the shot. We nearly lose it. Souček wins it back, and we build again. But again, when we got the ball, that's a lovely ball down the line. Benrahma was kind of on the wrong foot there and didn't quite make the most of that. But and Genk can sort of clear down the left-hand side. Our mate Paintstill going down the left-hand side again. He's cut in slightly. He's running at Dawson, who's flicks a very lazy leg out, and Paintstill goes down. Dawson's going to get a yellow for that. Paintstill, somewhat predictably, is down on the floor in mock agony, but he's been, even his own player has picked him up. It was, he went sort of kind of, Dawson went one way, Paintsil went another. So Dawson stuck his sort of back leg out, a little bit of contact, and so down it went. So
yeah, he's getting a card for that, isn't he? I mean, that looked like Paintsil was making the most of that to me. Got to say, no, I'm not sure the challenge was enough to bring him down, but anyway.
Yeah, but we've seen with Paintsil, if he feels any sort of contact, he's going down, isn't he?
Sure.
So anyway,
No,
free kick is Soufel's sort of annoyed with some of the foam going on his boot or something, throws it away. Free kick slightly to the left of the penalty area, with try to see the sort of distance if they pull back. I'd say about 25, 30 yards out, if that. Slightly at an angle, so I don't know if we're going to get a shot. We have a wall anyway, and slightly left of centre. It's a shot, but it's shot straight into the wall. Ball's out to Paintsil, who plays out the right. Looks dangerous. Cross comes in, and Oachu's at the far post, but even he doesn't reach up for it. It's gone quite above him. Genk still retaining the ball. Genk Paintsil very tricky. And he's gone down again, but the referee says no, get up, and we bring the ball away. So good bit of referee in there. Bowen now plays a lovely ball out left, and that's Fornals out there. Fornals plays the ball down the line. Cross comes in. That's palmed out by. Oh, it should be 2-1. Palmed out by Van der Voort. Kind of into the path of. So that was out there. There's a lot of arguing with the ref going on, but I'm not sure what's happening here now. Something strange going on. The Genk players are screaming blue murder at the ref, and he's good to Genk player. He's booked the Genk manager Van der Brom. Now I'm not quite sure what that's all about.
Was it perhaps related to the tackle on the edge of the box at the other end, prior to the chance?
Maybe, could be, yeah. But the referee was right on top of that, and that, I think that's Soufal just put that wide. It's been palmed pretty much into his path. So yeah, it's got to be descent for the Paintsil. I mean, Paintsil does go down far too easily, and he's been carded. Whether it was for the dive or for the subsequent complaint, I suspect it's the latter. And Lukumi's been booked as well. So
okay,
yeah, and Van der Brom, the manager, also got a yellow. So 3 Genk yellows in a minute there. So
trying to keep up with all this, just writing all these yellow cards down.
Yeah.
But I mean, going back to the original incident there, I mean, Rio, we really should have scored there. Soufal has got to put that one in the net, you think?
Yeah, you would have thought so. But again, it's positivity from us. We've really exerted ourselves in the second half, and breaking on the counter, we've been superb. But it was awkward for him, really. I've just seen the replay now. Keeper got a hand to it. His left foot. So maybe he's excusing for that.
The yellow, by the way, sorry. Ortega has just gone in late. They'll show that again. I couldn't quite see who was on the floor, but Genk are losing their discipline a little bit here. Just watching now, he's just gone in late on. Yeah, it's a painful one. I think it's Soucek on the receiving end of that. We're breaking away now down the left, and Cresswell tries to play the ball in towards Bowen, but doesn't. It's cut out, but they don't keep it in, so throwing to West Ham. We've still got the pressure going.
I've got to say, while that's we're just seeing if anything develops then, that must be something of a record. That I think that's 4 yellow cards for the opposition within the space of about 90 seconds, which that takes some going.
Yeah. They can't really complain about any of them, really. I mean, they did show the challenge that Paintsil got all up to about. there was a leg there, but he sort of went into, I think, Lanzini rather than anything else. And, he saw the leg and ran into it. And consequently, referee was really, really close to it and could see, could see what had happened. So, if he wasn't going to get it, then to run the length of the pitch, which they did, and then complain, well, you're only going to get one thing happening there. Corner at West Ham. Rice did some good chasing down and kept them in there. So, and it's corner on the West Ham right. So Bowen's going to take that. West Ham right. So Rice is in the box. Bowen signals. Ball's played in near post. Again, it's cleared away at near post, but only as far as it's back out with Bowen. Bowen cuts in. Nice little cross. And Dawson again. Dawson or Souček, sorry. It's Dawson. Let's have a look. See how much of his head he got on it this time. Well, he got a head on it, but he screwed the header wide. So maybe he should have tried to play it in with the side of his head and his shoulder, but it's a lovely cross from Bowen. Perfect. Just Dawson was outside the post and couldn't get it back inside. Which would have given us the goal there. So
we're getting closer. We're getting there, aren't we? But bit by bit. I mean, they're clearly rattled, aren't they? Rio, you can tell, by the number of bookings and the way they're reacting now. We've got them on the back foot. I'm sniffing a goal. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sniffing a late West Ham winner here. Rio, what do you reckon?
Yeah, it's only a matter of time. We're going to win this 2-1, 3-1, I think. As soon as we get that goal, which I think is definitely coming, they're going to get even more rattled. I think they'll probably end up with a man short and we'll exploit them on the break. But yeah, I've never seen I think was it 4 or 5 cards in the space of about a minute?
Four, yeah. 3.
Yeah, Mike Reeves apparently had a breakdown because he's never done that before himself. He's absolutely apoplectic.
Indeed. That's your name's favourite rock band, in case you didn't know, as Rio revealed earlier on. No fancy late winner?
We ought to. We're playing better at the moment, but this is a little bit. I'm kind of concerned that this might be a bit like the Brentford game, where Brentford barely got the ball out of their half in the second half, and then 94 minutes in the 96th minute of the 94 that was due to be played, suddenly we've lost. So I'll be a little bit more cautious. Yeah, it ought to be, but
we've had chances, haven't we? We've definitely had the chances this half. Definitely on top.
Yeah. Right. Well, Benrahma's bringing the ball away now. He's looking for assistance, and now played in. This will be with Rice. Lanzini, nice little ball inside Souček. First touch, not great, but manages to retain it. Plays the ball's played up from Bowen to Soufal. Back to Bowen, edge of the box. So tries to beat the player on the angle of the box, but doesn't, and that's lost. And it's out left with Paintsel again. Onuachu gets the ball, doesn't quite know what to do with it, so it's all the way back into the Genk half.
Onuachu, actually, so he's been very, very quiet again tonight, hasn't he? Had a couple of headers right at the start, but hasn't done a lot since.
When it's been played up to him, it's noticeable. Dawson doesn't even get a look in. He wins the ball, and Dawson trying to sort of he's got not a prayer of winning it in the air against him, but it's only happened a couple of times. They're not really using that. Now that was played again. That was well played, Dawson, because got a free kick here, but ball was played up to Onuachu, but it was played up at sort of fairly low length, and Dawson sort of stood his ground, got a foot around, and then the ball was played up in the air, and Onuachu climbed all over Benrahma to gain the free kick. The stat makes interesting reading. Total attempts, West Ham now 13, Genk 11. So it's a turnaround from the first half. Ball out wide to Soufal now. Plays the ball down the line. Not great ball again. Benrahma has to rescue it a little bit. Lovely ball inside though to Lanzini, who's looking for help, plays inside to Benrahma, cuts in the box, look dummy. Oh, Benrahma, oh, it's out. Oh, keeper's saved it. It's nearly come out to Soufal, but the defender just about gets a foot in to get the block in. Again, probably an offside had it been played to its conclusion, but ball gets played back to the keeper. Keeper not having the greatest of games. He sort of snapped at one on the ground, which he ought to have perhaps gathered, and got it at the second attempt. So again, it's beginning to come.
Yep, 13 minutes to go. Not long left now if we're gonna nick it. But West Ham really the only team looking likely to score at the moment. Steve Palmer posting on the live chat. I've just had to accept a post from you. For some reason, it was held up. I don't know why, and I have no idea whatsoever what it means. It looks like, I don't know, 4 slices of toast to me. Steve, tell me what that message means. I'm sure it's something fairly simple that I've overlooked, but let us know anyway. Yeah, we're inside the last 13 minutes. It is Genk 1, West Ham United 1. West Ham looking the more likely to. Van der Voort looking a little bit. He had a couple of dodgy moments in the first game, didn't he, Rio? Actually, I mean, I think I was certainly bigging him up before the game, but a couple of dodgy moments there. And as Noam said, he's not looked that clever tonight. That one that squirmed under him in the first half as well.
Yeah, no, he's highly lauded, wasn't he? And he's not covered himself in glory in either game. And there's a couple of moments where, if it had been one of our keepers, we have been absolutely digging him out beyond belief.
Well, let's hope he's time to make one more slip up. No.
Yeah, sorry, we were having a good attack there, but again, it just got cleared. Soufal did some good work on the right, got the cross in, but Genk coped with it. But there was a lovely first-time ball played down the line, down to the left. But again, we're beginning to build and build and build. It's sort of pushing on them. Dangerous ball played in there from Cresswell, and it's low. And we're just watching this cross coming from Soufal again.
Yeah.
And playing from 4 hours, that might come off the arm. I quite see it properly there. I don't think it was. But West Ham, again, ball out on the touchline. Trying to flick it over the defender, but it didn't work out. It's back now, halfway line with Diop, who sensibly plays it quickly to Lanzini. Rice looking for help there. Lanzini back on the ball, back with Rice again. Play between the lines, out now left to Fornals. We're keeping possession well, and it's one of these ones where, through ball played just too much, and it keeper came out quickly and gathered cleanly for once. But not sure if that was a dummy or a deliberate lead by Bowen, but it was a nice little bit of play. And just a yard too much on the ball. So West Ham won the ball back. Nice ball played out left by Rice. 4 nails on the ball now. Looking for help. Looks up. Plays the ball into Benrahma. Benrahma out wide. Rice gets the chips in across, and it's just too high for Bowen and Genk clear.
Close. Getting closer, getting closer bit by bit. There's been some more goals in Europe, actually.
He's on the ball, but we're getting back now. But I'm just a little bit concerned when we have those moments and Genk bring it away. If they were a little bit more ambitious. Now, Itu's had a shot again, another 30-yarder, and it's way over. So, all yours, great.
Thank you. Couple of goals elsewhere to tell you about. Napoli have turned it around in Poland. They were a goal down at half-time against Legia Warsaw. They're now 3-1 up. Rangers have equalised at Brøndby, and Real Sociedad have equalised against Sturm Graz. The Austrians were leading 1-0 there. What else have we got? Lyon 2 up now against Sparta Prague, and the rest as they were. Of course, West Ham's the other two teams in West Ham's group playing this evening, kicking off at 8 o'clock. Zagreb hosting Vienna in that tie there. But we are approaching. Just going to tell you how long we've got left, but my time has disappeared because we're watching a replay. 9 minutes, thank you. 9 minutes left to go.
Man, he's in the box. Yes, 2-1, and that's a cracking goal from Benrahma. Absolutely. Well, everyone's looking a bit disbelieved there, but it's No, it's definitely a goal. Well, I can't see there's any reason. Ben Rama's just gone, put the ball one side, run around the other, burst into the box, and just poked it past. It's a great ball out from Suchek to Cresswell. Cresswell into Ben Rama. He turns, lovely bit of skill, round one way, round the other, and it's gone in through Van der Vert's legs. So whereas that sort of inner thigh in the first half was enough to sort of help them get one cleared off the line, it wasn't this time. Good goal by Ben, good solo effort, and well deserved. He's been the pick for me tonight.
Yeah, well, certainly has in the second half. I mean, he like everyone else, he was anonymous before the break. But there it is. Genk 1, West Ham United 2. The Hammers a goal down at half-time. Turned it around completely in this half. Ben Rama equalising in the 59th minute. And there it is. Ben Rama putting West Ham 2-1 up with just 8 minutes left to go. Brilliant goal. I think he actually nutsed the defender on the way in, and then a great finish. Rio, what? Here we are. We called it again. I mean, we're like sage, we're getting it all right today. Substitutes, goals, unbelievable.
Yeah, that third one's coming in about 3 minutes' time, by the way. No, it's what a fantastic goal by Benny there. Absolutely done the defender. Fantastic finish. I actually thought out of our attacking options in the first half, he was the brightest spark. There wasn't a lot to cheer about, but at least he was getting in the positions. At least he was getting the ball and using it with purpose. Since the half-time break, he's been absolutely outstanding. He's been the pick of our players, and I'm absolutely delighted for him because he's not been at the races the last couple of games in the league. But tonight, this is going to give him a lot of confidence. It's going to rejuvenate him a little bit more.
Thank you, Rio. Steve, of course, simple as that. I mean, I was looking outside the box and there it was comfortably in it. 4 yellow cards, of course. It's got four yellow squares indicated. No, are we going to grab another one here? How do we play out this last few minutes? Do we look to put them to the sword now, or are we just going to sit back and hang on for this, to this slender lead?
I think we play it by ear a little bit. I don't think we. I'd like to see the third because Genk have really shown nothing as an attacking force in this second half. I'm struggling to remember Areola having to make any sort of saves. Excuse me. Sorry, just as as it stands league table, it's got a little Q against our name if we qualified. I think that means we'll finish in first or second, but you'd rather finish first because that skips out a whole round. Lanzini's coming off. I think this gives the indication of wanting to bolster things up a bit. Lanzini's off and Kral is coming on. In answer to your question, I think they want to bolster that. That's definitely more of a defensive midfield. Let's sit in the middle there, and we have what we hold. But we may not be going for a third, but there's definitely a possibility. Genk, on the meanwhile, having a free kick, played long into the box. I know actually gets the header up, but he's right at the edge of the penalty area, and even if he's he's on target, I think that there's so far to go with that. It's not really much of a chance. As it happens, it goes wide. Genk making a couple of substitutions now as they show the Ben Rama goal again. Just the little flick one side and run around the other. Deserved it one just for that. And I think that's pretty much what they're showing Declan Rice telling him. And big grins on everybody's faces. Don't think Genk have made those subs yet. So
okay. Just we just saw a lovely shot there a few moments ago, didn't we? From the away end, I think it's referred to as limbs these days, and scenes in the away end. And credit that's lovely for it's lovely for Pinky and the travelling fans have made that journey. Didn't have a lot to cheer about at half time, but we said let's see how it transpires.
By the way, if he can work out how to hold the ball, Torstvedt's coming off, and. No, they've got that wrong around. Torstvedt's coming off and Ugbo's coming on. They've actually said that that's the other way round, but clearly it isn't because Torstvedt's been on the pitch. And the other one is Munoz is out and Preciado is the player in. So the 2 substitutes for Genk, who obviously want to chase. Excuse me, chasing this now. So that's. Oh, that was a West Ham throw, but it's given the Genk way. Obviously, a little touch I couldn't quite see.
I didn't realise we had so many fish and chip shop owners in our travelling support.
Oh, it's 2-2.
Oh, Jesus.
Rio.
I think that's an own goal.
Oh, get rid of that cue.
Souček looking very sheepish. It's come off Souček. They got the ball down their right-hand side. Cresswell not at the races. Ball's kicked across and Souček tries to block the cross, heads it in.
Lovely. It's a cracking finish, to be fair. Yeah. It's an outstanding finish from...
Ariana's got absolutely no chance with that. That's probably the first effort on target Genk have had in the second half, and it has to come from Souček. So, that's a bit unfortunate because the second half we've really been the one team in it. And I did say Brentford, didn't I? Yeah, something. I was just going
to say we were all right there. I mean, Rio and I felt that the second West Ham goal was coming, and Nome, of course, pointed out, Brentford, it could happen again, and it has happened again. But who's to say there isn't a fifth goal coming? I mean, it's been a bit like that this second half, isn't it? West Ham well on top, as Nome says. I mean, that probably is. I'm looking at my notes. I can't see another shot on target for the home side in this half. But there it is. It's in the back of the net. It's Genk 2, West Ham United 2. But, I think we'd probably take that given the first half. We endured Rio, wouldn't we, at the moment? Disappointing as it is, of course.
Yeah, no, it was a stereotypical game of 2 halves, and we've been so dominant in the second half. To give a go away like that, it's just it's disheartening, isn't it?
Genk got the ball in the area. A little deflection was kind for them, but cross came across and Rice did well just to flick it out, but surely a foul for Ora, but not given.
Looks like they've got the bit back between their teeth, Rio, the home side here.
Were attacking ones, weren't they? And of course, we brought on players to sort of bolster it. And of course, we're now sort of having to play that slightly defensive way. We're in the final minute of normal time. Remains to be seen how much stoppage there is. There's going to be at least a minute for the yellow cards that he took out of time. Now, Itu's running it, goes past it. Again, a long looping cross, but it's far too wide, but they'll keep it in. We need to be a bit careful here, guys.
We've
gone past Soufal, and it's come off Rice. West Ham players claiming that that's Areola, especially claim that's come off the forward, but we're just seeing the Genk fans are obviously cock a hoop about this. So corner to Genk, and on their left-hand side, on our right, stick with me because we've not been great at corners. Cross comes in, near post, but it's flicked across and it's cleared. Now, can Benrahma get on the end of this? No, he's crowded out by 2 Genk defenders, and the ball's back to the Genk goalkeeper. We're 9-10 seconds into 4 minutes of stoppage time been announced. So I think most of that was taken up, as I say, with booking after the Genk team. So
nearly there. It's Genk 2, West Ham United 2. West Ham completely on top in this second half. Rio, what's the any response to that equaliser, Rio, from the forum? Anything we can read with that, with the expletives?
Sorry, I was just trying to look for the positives, but yeah, there's not a lot we can repeat on air. Not at this time of night, anyway. Give it an hour and a half. I can run through the whole lot.
All right. We'll come back to you in the post-match chat anyway. But 4 minutes of added on time called. One of those played. It looks like we're going to be heading towards a draw here. West Ham's 100% record about to go, it looks like, Nome, in the Europa League.
Well, Genk are actually attacking with some intent at the moment, although Paintsfield is shepherded across and now Genk put in the 60-yard back pass to the keeper, which may be suggesting that they might be happy with the point. But I'm going to put my hand up now and say on the second half performance, I'm disappointed that if we don't get all three out of this. If you'd asked me at half time, I'd be happy with the point. But now we can probably take it away. Lovely ball played to Bowen. Bowen's bearing in. He's cut inside, Bez hit the box. It's played behind. Fornals can rescue it, but gone back, played inside now. Declan Rice cuts inside. He's bearing in the box, cuts inside again, beats a challenge. Played it a Kroll back to Rice. And it's played across and nobody could get on the end of it. Nobody wanted to bloody shoot.
Rubbish.
Good football, but Rice should have pulled the trigger a couple of times. Plays Kroll back to Rice. Rice plays it out to Soufal, who kind of volleys it across the inside of his leg, which is neither cross nor shot. Soufal have the courage of your convictions and have a shot or something. Rice had made room for a shot on a couple of occasions there and didn't.
He looks absolutely mortified, Declan Rice, there, no?
Yeah. That actually, I mean, a number of occasions we should have got goals, and that's another one. Genk are on the attack again, and that's blocked by Cresswell, who's done quite well to shake off. Back Cresswell wins the foul, and we go again. Got a minute left, and ball's out wide in the right wing with Soufal. Again, plays it out wide to Bowen. West Ham looking to actually want to sew this up rather than take it to the corner flag. Bowen, edge of the box. Lovely ball by Bowen. It's played square, and it should be 3. What we got to do to score now? Fornals is saying he was bear hugged there. Let's have a look. It's a great ball from Fornals. Played square, and well, he's not going to get a penalty for that, is he? Played square by Cresswell. And Fornals is up in arms, but he's not going to get a penalty for that. That really should have been 3-2. Some great build-up play there, and Soufal's been fouled there. What's he giving? Give him referee's not quite sure what he's given there, but substitution for Genk, which I think by now they've realised they really want to be running the clock down. So we're now in overtime for overtime, and West Ham on the ball. There really will only be seconds left. They're going to have to get this forward quickly if they want. Paint seals the player off, and in fact, that's the final whistle. And that's Cresswell just hammers the ball away in frustration. Yeah. Well, undefeated, but you've got your first half to blame for that one.
There it is, full time in Belgium. It has finished. Genk 2, West Ham United 2. The Hammers suffering a horror first half. Bit late for Halloween, but that's a bit how it felt in the opening 45 minutes. West Ham falling behind as early as the 4th minute. Paint seal getting away behind Diop and firing across Areola to give the home side the lead, after which it was quite surprising that West Ham didn't concede more in that first half. Really, really not at the races, the Hammers, until the last 2 or 3 minutes when Benrahma and Rice went very, very close to equalising for the break. It wasn't to be. West Ham went in at the interval a goal behind. But it wasn't long before the Hammers were back on level terms. Benrahma it was, converting a Soufal cross to make it 1-1. And then with just 8 minutes to go, West Ham took the lead for the first time on the evening. Benrahma scoring again. Wonderful, wonderful solo goal, picking up the ball 30 yards from goal, running towards the box and then firing inside the near post ahead of Van der Voort to put West Ham ahead. And it looked like West Ham should really have gone on to secure the win then, but 3 minutes from the end of normal time and the home side equalised. It was, we think, I mean, looking through my notes, I don't think, as Noam pointed out earlier in the commentary, possibly their first effort on target in the entire second half. It was a cross towards the near post. Thomas Souček got up. Not for the first time he scored an own goal from that position. We'll come back to that in the post-match discussion. Trying to remember who it was he did it against before. But it was a brilliant header, to be fair, from Souček. But unfortunately, at the wrong end of the pitch. And that was the final real effort of the game. And that's how it finished. West Ham's 100% record in Europe going. That's 3 wins and a draw now from our 4 outings so far. 10 points, leaving us 6 points clear of Genk and a minimum of 4 points clear, I think, of either the teams that are playing later on this evening, Zagreb and Vienna. But there it is, West Ham really not at the races in the first half, far superior in the second half, but having to settle for a share of the spoils in the end. Noam, was that a fair result, in reflection, looking at the whole game in its entirety?
Yeah, I suppose. Although, I mean, we were terrible first half. There's no whitewashing this. It was Diop. I'll let Pinky go into more eloquence about Diop than I will, but he had a poor game. And there's just the one bright spot that as Pinky mentioned, we came into it a lot more towards the end, last 5 or 10 minutes. And Benrahma picking up the ball and running at players was the key to that. They didn't look happy at that. When we then got to the situation where the 3 substitutions were made, and I think you're a bit unfair on Benrahma saying, "Oh, he's been good since the 3 subs came on." He was the one bright spot before that. The 3 subs just gave him something extra to bolster it, because he was getting no real support from around him.
Do you mean in the second half or in the entire game? Yeah.
It was running at players, but Masuaku wasn't sort of coming inside to help if he was going down the middle. Yeah. Masuaku was pretty much anonymous, and again, Noble, bless him, is always slightly more defensively minded. The number of times when he's got the ball, his first look is back sometimes, and you think, no, look the other way once in a while. You've got stuff in front of you that might be useful. And that was the right move. I don't think it was good to have Rice and Noble together. I don't think that particularly works.
Yeah.
So Souček coming on was good in that, although obviously, bless him, in trying to block the cross, got an oggy against his name. So overall, well, I mean, at half-time, we'd have been happy with the point. At full-time, we're disappointed not to have had 3 because the chances we should have stuck away.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
All right. Thank you, Noam. Thank you very much. Rio, would you go along with that? We were pretty desperate here, weren't we, at half-time, a goal behind, and I think as Noam rightly said, at that point, we'd all have accepted a point. But given the superiority West Ham enjoyed in that second half and the number of chances we created, I guess we've got to be disappointed at coming away and, seeing our 100% record finally disappear, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say the first half was probably the worst 45 minutes of football I've seen us put in for well over a year.
Yeah.
You can look at 9 out of the 11 players on that pitch, and you would have taken most of them off if you could. Second half was a complete turnaround. We absolutely battered Genk, and we did it with a plum. We was playing some nice football, knocking the ball around really well. They didn't have a sniff, and they still didn't. So to lose, to draw in the manner that we have done, incredibly disappointing. But any point away in Europe, you can't really be that gutted by it, because it's pretty new for most of these players out there, and we haven't lost. We're firmly at the top of that group. We could still automatically qualify, I think, tonight. May not be in the first place that we're desperate for, but we could still qualify. And the way that the mentality of that team, the way that the coaches pumped into them that first half was unacceptable, the way that the players responded and turned it around and put on such a good performance in the second 45, it was good comeback from us. I'd also like to congratulate the forum members as well, because their reaction to the Thomas Souček own goal, once you pick out the parts where which completely X-rated, there's some great comments there. So well done, forum members. We'll delve into that in a moment.
We certainly shall. Let's before we do that, though, let's just take a quick look back at the 3 second half goals, and we'll start with the first one. It was 59 minutes on the clock. West Ham had started much stronger in the second half, and just 2 minutes after Bowen Fornells and Souček had come on for Michail Antonio, Arthur Masuaku, and Mark Noble, and it was Ben Rama's goal. Gnome. It was a cross from Soufal, but Ben Rama, as you said, had, probably been the man most likely to out of the West Ham team, and good finish to put us on level terms.
Yeah, it was a well-worked goal. For once, I mean, the number of times we got into decent places, decent positions out wide, and then the cross had been pulled back behind people or played straight into a Genk defender. The pullback from Soufal was just perfect. It was straight there. There you go, Ben Rama, all yours. Keeper didn't cover himself in glory, perhaps, but that was a function of the fact that Ben Rama was in a position to take the shot. So, well worked goal, but it had been coming. Second half, it had been coming. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you'll have the stats and all that, but the second half. If you take Souček out of the equation, I don't think Genk had a shot on target, did they?
No, I think you're right. I'm just looking at the stats now. I mean, they had 14 shots overall and 5 on target. I think that was all before the halftime interval. So I think you're probably right.
It's just annoying and frustrating that it took us 45 minutes of abject rubbish to, actually play the way we should have been playing. We've just got the players applauding the away support and giving lots of waves. I think we're going to get David Moyes very shortly. Let's have a look. Right. They're just confirming that if there's a win in the other game tonight, that will mean that West Ham will qualify because one or other of the teams, the losing team, will be out of contention somewhere along the line. I believe that's the case. I haven't done the maths, so if that's wrong, blame my interpretation of BT's version of subtitles.
All right. Well, we'll run with that. I mean, Genk must be on 4 points now. We'll be on 10 with 2 games to go. You'd imagine they could catch us. Whoever wins tonight would be on 6, wouldn't they? So they could certainly catch us and go beyond. So perhaps it's because those teams are playing each other that means that we can't get caught. But anyway, we'll clarify that in due course. 1-1. Anyway, the goal from Ben Rama, and then 8 minutes from time, Rio. We'd been asking all the questions, hadn't we, until that point? Lots of chances, half chances, couldn't quite put it away. And then touch of brilliance from side Ben Rama, picking up the ball 25, 30 yards from goal and finding the net and giving us what looked like it would be the winning goal.
Yeah, most definitely. As Noam pointed out, he was the bright spark all night. Even out from the attacking options in the first half, he stood out. But that was an absolute touch of class, wasn't it? Did the defender completely, made him an absolute mug, rolled the ball into the penalty box. And again, the keeper, I think, was at fault. The keeper should have done a lot better than that. But it's a fantastic finish. And it capped off a really good performance by side Ben Rama, who, as I pointed out, last few games in the league, he's not been shining, to say the least. But tonight would have done in a world of good. 2 good goals, a lot of confidence. And he was that attacking bright spark for most of the game tonight.
Certainly was. And as we said, it looked like that would be the goal that would give West Ham all 3 points and a full successive Europa League win. Alas, it was not to be, because with just 3 minutes of normal time left to go, Noam, a cross came in from the right. We've said it. It was really a rare attacking break from the hosts in the second period. And Thomas Souček rose like a salmon at the near post and didn't really glance at the header past Areola, but it was more like a thunderbolt of a header. 2 questions for you, really. Firstly, did he need to go for it at all? And secondly, is that the greatest own goal you've ever seen by a West Ham player?
Firstly, the ball's been hit across fairly quick, at him from not a hell of a long. And it's one of those ones where your instinct is to go and try and block it out. It's so it wasn't a case of him saying, "Oh, here comes the ball. Shall I go for it or not?" It happened so fast that you're just going to go for it. So whether or not he needed to, well, who knows? Because we're not quite sure how far that would have gone. They'll show it again in a minute, and maybe I'll come to a more definitive answer.
Okay.
Was that the greatest own goal? Not exactly. What about Ian Dowie? I mean, Ian Dowie trying to head the ball one way and it going off the other.
Well, the reason I asked the question is because someone's made that exact point already on Twitter. Nick posting on Twitter just a few moments ago has just said that he thinks it was better than Dowie's, which is why I asked the question. You're not having it though.
No, because he was, he was trying to get a block in. It's just he didn't quite get it. It just flew off at a slightly wrong angle. I mean, it was roughly the right angle because he wanted it to go in that general direction to try and put it out for a corner. But with Dowie was trying to head it that way, and it just flew off that way.
Yes, fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, Souček will be gutted, but he was doing a defensive job there, and it's one of those things. Joe Cole's just talking about it there now. So I've got the point is, I think about the converse thing where you've got that cross coming in, and if Souček sort of ducks out of it and someone in the middle scores, what you got to say then?
Yeah, I mean, the point, of course, is if it's really Areola's call there, isn't it? Areola can see what's behind Souček, and if he wants him to leave it, he's got to give him a shout. And presumably there wasn't the call, which is why Souček went for the header. And it's just one of those things. Possibly
for Areola to start. I just had a look at it there a second ago, and it was kind of going. It was at pace, and it was going behind. Now, Monoachi was probably the closest, but I think it might have gone behind him. But Souček's got 0.01 seconds to do that. Do you want to come back to it? We've got Cresswell on now, so I'll listen to what he's got to say.
Okay. While Gnome's off listening to the sage words of Aaron Cresswell, I'll come back to Rio. Rio, we touched on it a few minutes ago. You said it was the worst 45 minutes you think you've seen from West Ham in at least a year. Why did David Moyes get it so wrong tonight?
I think tinkering with. I think because we kind of started with a back three. It didn't last long because we were so poor. We reverted to the four. But I think that little bit of a tinkering, that little bit of taking players slightly out of position, it took us a while to adjust. I mean, I think there's tired minds, there's tired bodies out there. I understand when Pinky said that only 4 of them are regular starters, but we still played a lot of cup games already. I think it's our 5th or 6th game in the cup this season. There's still a lot. When you contribute into league games as well, a tiny squad is showing signs of wear and tear already. But there's kind of a little bit of complacency, a slight tactical shift. But we just didn't look at all up for it. We afforded far too much time and space to Genk. They pressed really hard, which didn't let us settle at all. Because normally we kind of like to settle a little bit, pass the ball around, find our feet. They didn't let us do that at all. So fair play to them for getting their tactics right again. And they did that in the first half of the corresponding fixture. Mm. But our passing and our defensive shape were all over the shop to start with, and it cost us dearly.
What, in your view, was it that made the difference in the second half? Because, I mean, clearly the introduction of Bowen, Fornells and Souček made a difference. In Souček's case, not necessarily a positive one in the end. But, we'd started well. Even prior to that, we looked much stronger. What was the main difference for you? between the first and the second halves?
It was the mentality of the players for me. We actually attacked with intent. We actually held the ball, held possession for like more than 30 seconds or so. And we was growing into the game. But then, and this is what worries me a little bit, we resorted to the same players coming on to make a difference. We've seen Fornells and Bowen come on once more in a cup competition and have to kind of utilise them once more to kind of exert any kind of real authority on the game. And, you know, it's a long season in front of us still. You know? It's only November already. There's another 5-6 months to come. You can't keep relying on your same core players to come on and change the game week in, week out, twice a week. So that's a little bit of a worry. I know we was missing a couple of players tonight. I mean, people criticise Andrei Yarmolenko, but I think in his European sides, he'd be the ideal kind of person to have up front. A lot of experience, a lot of guile, knows where the goal is. Also, Nikola Vlasic, I mean, he's not set the world alight since he's been to us, but when we utilise him a little bit more like we did against Manchester City last week and allow him into the game a little bit more, right, he kind of stood out. I think last Wednesday was his best performance for us. But we are lacking in numbers and we're relying on the same core of players to kind of dig us out of trouble and change the mentality, the way we approach things.
I think that's a very good point. I mean, we didn't even touch on Yarmolenko, did we, during the game? And when we mentioned that Vlasic would almost certainly have been playing had he been available tonight, we're still not quite sure why he wasn't available. We'll try and get to the bottom of that before the end of the show. Yarmolenko, of course, has been playing pretty well in Europe for West Ham, not available. So it's not just, it's not just a case of we were missing your Boners, your Zoomers and players like that, first team starters. There were a couple of others who would normally have been playing in Europe that weren't available. So it's a very good point. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting that you point out that you felt the biggest change there was one of attitude, and not necessarily something that I guess Moyes can control. I mean, I guess you can G your players up to a certain degree, but at the end of the day, it's got to come down to them, and they've got to have the appetite for the game, and certainly didn't seem to be the case in the first half. Anyway, Noma's been listening to Aaron Cresswell being interviewed after the game.
Well,
what did he have to say, Noam?
Well, I'll come back to that in a minute. We've got Declan Rice on now, so just to see if you can go back to me. So we've got Declan Rice on now. I'll paraphrase it, go through it. We're just disappointed. Obviously, we knew it was going to be a tough night. We knew they'd be better than they were in the first game. And I thought it was a real end-to-end game. Enjoyable playing, but frustrated to give away that goal at the end. He's been asked what he made of the team's overall performance. First 20, we were poor. We couldn't get to grips with the formation, the way they were playing. As soon as they made that tactical switch, we got it. We created more chances. We could have scored one or two in the first half. In the second half, there were so many we could have scored, but didn't. So we started with the back five, but Manu was Lanzini was the focal point, but it wasn't working. It's our first time in Europe. We need to find different ways to deal with the opposition. He's just been told if there's a win in the other group game tonight, he'll be through. Yeah, it feels good. We've still got two tough games. We've still got to play Zagreb at home, but we want to finish top. We don't want to finish second. We want to proceed to the next round, which is obviously you bypass a round there. He's now being asked about Ben Rama, and I know what he can do. You need to tell him that he'll be the best man on the pitch and that he can do whatever he wants. And I just want him to keep doing what he's doing, keep expressing himself, keep having the fun he does on the pitch. And he scored two great goals and really bailed us out.
Okay, excellent.
He's been asked if they've done anything for for David Moyes' 1,000 game. We've all signed a shirt for him. I spoke to him yesterday about it. He said he played about 600 games as a player. So now he's got 1,000 as a manager. So I asked him if he was stressed. He said he's just a great guy, just disappointed we couldn't win for him tonight. Still talking about Moyes. I don't know if Moyes is actually going to come out. But Declan's saying he gets the best out of every player. He can tell you straight how it is, and you need that as a player. You don't want everything to be plain sailing all the time. If he stops shouting at you, that means he doesn't care about you. The more he shouts at us, the more he wants us to improve. But away from the pitch, you can sit down and talk with him. He's a top guy. So a lot of love there for Mr. Moyes from the Rice camp. And he's now being asked to find it. The fact you can overtake Liverpool on Sunday must be quite exciting. He says, well, we know what Liverpool are like. They're world-class top players all around the pitch. It's the last game before the international break. So let's go out there and give it everything. What have we got to lose? So, there you go, Declan Rice, ladies and gentlemen. Earlier on, Aaron Cresswell was saying much as we were saying. It was frustrating. We were poor, sloppy. Didn't actually hold on to the ball very well in the first half. Second half, we were a lot tighter. We got the ball moving around properly. Passing was better. And again, we're frustrated that late equaliser was conceded. So pretty much what we've been saying.
Okay. Good stuff. I'm just sorry. I'm just seeing a couple of things come through which are a little bit disappointing actually on social media. I mean, firstly, I'm going to touch on them because they will be mentioned. So we won't go into any great depth, but there's a video that's been posted of West Ham fans on a flight to the game abusing a Jewish chap, and then Jack Elderton, of course, who you know from the KUMB podcast, has put a message out tonight just to say that this was a great day. I was going to write something lovely about our fans, and then I hear the worst chant I've ever seen them sing. I've ever heard them sing. Sorry. Just as I won't be typing it out, it's enough to say I'm ashamed. So that's a little bit disappointing, and I'm sure we'll hear more about that as time goes on. But unfortunately, it seems like some of our fans are not behaving as well as the rest of them out there tonight in Belgium. But anyway, we're going to stick to the football for now. Coming back to the game itself. Rio, Manchester United, Brentford, Genk again tonight. We're conceding late goals again. We had a little spell of this, didn't we, a while back, where it looked like the concentration was lapsing a little bit. Are we kind of slipping into that area again now, or is this just a bit of a coincidence?
I think that tonight's just a bit of a one-off. The level of the opposition aren't nowhere near as good as what we face in the Premiership, where you have to be switched on 90-plus minutes every game. Tonight, it was an unfortunate own goal. It was a fantastic finish, but it was unfortunate. And I don't think you can really categorise this particular event as the same as the Manchester United one and definitely the Brentford one. I think it's just one of those things. League games, I think, would be more disciplined, more mentally up for the game. What I do worry about is that tired minds are creeping in. I think that's what's cost us in those league games. Tired minds, tired bodies. You switch off for 1 second and you're done for. Tonight's just unfortunate.
Okay. Noam, would you go along with that, or do you think there's something more concerning at play here?
Yeah, Rio's right. The mental side of the game is. I mean, if we got out and won that 3-4-0 tonight, just picking a score at random, anybody who played tonight would want to be playing against Manchester United. While you're winning, then you'll play 3-4 times a week or something. It's when things aren't going your way, then if you lose on Thursday and then you lose on the Sunday and then you get into a run of that, for example, you suddenly start feeling tired, whereas you might be playing the same 90 minutes on the Thursday and the Sunday when you're winning, and you know, mentally you don't feel that tired at all. So, I mean, let's take a step back here and look at what we've got. We're on the brink of qualification, and I still think we'll top the group. I don't think Rapid Vienna are any great shakes at home or away. I don't think they gave us anything to worry about at home. We were saying earlier on that Genk had a couple of moments before we tore them apart, but I don't think we did with Rapid. I don't think Rapid really gave us any hassles, and a win there, I think, will see us top the group. And we go at the Zagreb game. Just to, we play some exhibition stuff if we want, but so it's disappointing. I think we're as at fault as perhaps the players, because we've all gone here thinking, we're going to win this easily. Genk ain't too much, and if that's transmitted somehow to the players, it shouldn't do. Moyes should be making sure that they treat the opposition with the right level of respect. But at the end of the day, we sort of rolled up our sleeves, and second half we certainly had the right attitude. And one little freak own goal. Well, but for that, we're already through. So just sit back. We'll put that one to one side. Let's think about Liverpool at the weekend.
Okay. Well, we shall come to that in due course. We'll have a little chat about this Sunday's game before we crack on. Before we do that, Rio, we were talking a little while ago about going to the forum to see what our fellow Hammers were saying. So good time now, I guess, to do that. Let's go and see what the immediate reaction is to tonight's 2-2 draw.
First of all, I'm just going to touch on the reaction to Souček's own goal.
Okay, good stuff.
And forgive me for not mentioning usernames, but there's a few. I'm just going to rattle through them.
Okay.
I thought he was due a goal. A bullet header for Souček. Cracking header, just the same as in the wrong net. Well, at least Souček's managed to rediscover his goal scoring touch. This is a bleeping great header. Bloody hell, we can't score a goal for us at the moment. Then he does that. What a header! Wow, what an amazing header. I don't even feel disappointed that it was such a great goal.
Yeah. So
well done, forum members. Bit of appreciation for a quality header there, despite the fact it was like, wrong end. Yeah. Okay, so going back to the post-match reaction from people on the forum.
Yes.
Gary's put, I wanted to win so much so we could rest players in the other two games, but the draw means we can't. Good point there, Gary. Paolo Paul, what a great game of football. We could have been 2 or 3 down early on. In the end, we're unlucky not to win it. Lanzini and Belmama were very good, and Rice was quality as always. Hopefully this is the last game we see Noble on free kicks and corners. Happy with him in the team, but please leave the set plays to Cresswell. Okay, Polar, what a great game to watch, but just can't help thinking we were very unlucky to not to get more goals. The ball just won't run for us. Vic Watson, what a game, all action and a fair result. Morocco Roll, again, it's put a brilliant game of football, which is largely the consensus on the forum. I mean, I thought, I probably viewing it through claret and blue tinted spectacles. I thought the first half was appalling, and the second half was more in line with everyone else is saying. GSB's put far better with Souček, Fornells and Bowen. Lanzini suddenly had targets for his passing. We could have easily have romped in the second half, but poor misses from Soufal and Dawson. There are plenty of other nearly moments. It just proves we have a dozen or so incredibly good players, but then a number who are below, at best, lower Premiership quality, which is why we need the likes of Lingard in January. Another very good player who we would have added to the squad this season, more than someone who might come good next season. And Simon 1982, an excellent game of football and great for the travelling fans to see us get back in the game and score a few. Everyone seems to think that was a magnificent game of football, which in hindsight it was, particularly for the neutral. But they put us for a ringer, don't they, at times?
Yeah, I'm surprised. I don't know. Perhaps we obviously saw it differently because I mean I kind of sitting here not reflecting on what I thought was a magnificent game of football. I think that's probably because of what you're saying, Rio. The first 45 minutes was pretty horrendous from a West Ham perspective, wasn't it? And you know, it's certainly enjoyable in the second half. It would have been even more enjoyable, of course, at Souček's own goal not hit the back of the net right at the end and sort of slightly spoiled it. But there you go. It's good to see everyone's happy anyway, I suppose. I mean, if everyone's pleased with the point, who are we to suggest otherwise? Noam's just been listening to David Moyes, I think, on the telly box.
Yeah.
Was he happy or was he a bit cheesed off too?
No, you probably had your volume turned down there, but you might have noticed a bit of a smile on his face, and he was quite positive about the thing. He said the first 20 minutes, we were poor, but we grew into the game. The second half, it was all us. Genk always capable of causing us problems on the break. The own goal was unfortunate, but we're unbeaten in, I think he said 6. And there's a bit of confusion as to whether or not we've actually qualified. And he seemed to think somebody had told him that they had, but right. I think that's been corrected now. But he said a stage if we haven't qualified is, well, we want to qualify the next game and we want to top the group. So, BT seemed obsessed in trying to find out what, if anything, David Moyes has had to drink to celebrate his 1,000th game, whether or not it's beer or red wine or whatever. But it was just a case that he said, "Oh, well, I might think about a glass of red when the international break comes up, but I've got a big game at the weekend to think of first, and big game and pretty much bring it on." But he seemed relatively positive, more so than the players that were interviewed did, Rice and Cresswell, who were both slightly cheesed off. So, but let's not minimise this point. It is very important to try and win the group, because winning the group puts you through to the last 16. Whereas not winning the group, coming second, I think you end up possibly having to play somebody who's dropped out of the so-called Champions League.
That's it.
Could be there's some very big names likely to do that. You certainly don't want to finish third and end up in the sort of Europa Isthmian conference thing that's below us, where you're playing on sort of council pitches and things like that. So, but there you go. Anyway.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I mean, of course, just on that point about having to potentially play a playoff to qualify by finishing second, you've got some big teams potentially falling into that category. I mean, Leipzig, who snatched a draw, I think, last night, didn't they, against PSG, struggling to qualify. Barcelona, another one who could be dropping into the Europa League yet, the way things are going. It's there's some, as I said, there's some big sides, and you certainly want to avoid draws like that. No, I've got your favourite stat for you, the XG, expected goals, which is quite interesting, actually, because even though the match finished 2-2, Genk's expected goals score was 1.12, and West Ham's was 3.28, which I guess indicates, how dominant we were statistically, anyway, if not in terms of goals actually scored.
How critical we were when it really mattered.
Yeah, exactly. Very good, very good. General stats, possession-wise, 50-50 split. And in fact, it was very, very even throughout. Genk, 14 shots in the end, 5 on target, which, as Noam correctly pointed out, we believe were all in the first half. West Ham, 15 shots, 7 on target. Genk, 4 corners to West Ham's 5, and each team committing 8 fouls. So it's pretty damn even across the board there, which would suggest that 2-2 was probably a fair result on the night, even if we feel a little bit hard done by having led 2-1 with only 3 minutes of normal time left to play. Sad to see some more comments coming on with regards, and more negative comments coming up on social media with regards to some of the chants being heard in the away end tonight, which is, as I said before, which is very disappointing, and I'm sure we'll hear more about that as the hours and days go on. We were hoping to get the Pink Palermo on the stream after the game. He, of course, joined us before the game and at half time, but he did mention that there was a possibility he might not be able to get on because there'd been some issues perhaps with the home fans perhaps misbehaving. So we do hope, Pinky, if you're out there, that everything's all right and you and the West Ham fans are all okay, and that you managed to get away from the ground all right. And who knows, perhaps he'll be able to join us before the end of the stream. Moving on, gentlemen. Man of the match. We haven't done that yet. I suppose this is a good time to do it now. No, Noam, I'll come to you first. I think I know what you're going to say anyway, but I think for once Declan Rice might not get it.
Yeah, it's Ben Rama all the way. He was the one right thing that we had, really. Just everything good came through him. And Genk couldn't cope with him running with the ball. And when we made those substitutions, it wasn't just him. We had Bowen who could run at people as well. Fornals was running at people. And but Ben Rama was doing all the way through. David Moyes was very happy with him. He said, you know, if you take the goals out of his performance, he still did very, very well. And it was, stuck out. I mean, as I say, even discounting 2 goals, definitely. Okay, excellent. Rio, Ben Rama, for Noam, how about yourself?
Yeah, I'm going to go along with that. First half, Areola had a very good first half, kept us in the game somewhat, but everything good in an attacking sense for West Ham come through side Ben Rama. In the second half, he stepped up, had a better calibre of player around him, 2 goals, very lively, very good job tonight from side.
Okay, excellent. I'm going to buck the trend slightly because I'm going to go for someone else. Just to make it a bit different, really, because I think Ben Rama was clearly the standout outfield player for West Ham tonight. But I'm going to go for our goalkeeper. I'm going to go for Alphonse Areola as man of the match because didn't really have anything to do in the second half apart from pick the ball out of the net. But if it wasn't for a couple of really, really good saves he made, I mean, as early as like the 8th and 9th minute, we could have been, you know, Genk could have been out of sight. There was a really good save from Onuachu's header, wasn't it? There was 2 in a row. One he tipped over the bar, and then the point blank header, which he managed to save and also push wide of the goal, which was absolutely fantastic. A couple more saves towards the end of the half. So I'm going to give it to our keeper because I felt if it wasn't for him making those saves, you know, we and Ben Rama's goals wouldn't have made a difference because the home side would have been home and dry by that point. So yeah, Ben Rama clearly the standout outfield player tonight, but a little bit of credit to Areola, although. Of course, there were some people on the forum, weren't there, Rio, who were suggesting that he might have been. They felt he was at fault for the opening goal, which I'm not sure any of us saw. Did we?
Yeah, I didn't think he was. I just thought the defence was culpable for that, and more to pinpoint anyone, it was more Issa Diop. But there was a huge gap between Dawson and Diop. They exploited it to perfection, and yeah. From that kind of angle, you might have expected him to do a little bit better, but I don't think there was any fault, mate, for Areola there at all.
Okay. Rio, you've just sent me a little stat via WhatsApp. Do you want to tell everyone what it says?
Yeah, no. Thomas Souček has played trying to think, over 107 league games for both Prague, Slavia Prague, and West Ham United, also for the Czech Republic. I think I'll debate that because I think he's played a lot more games than that.
Yeah,
but he's had 3 career own goals, all whilst wearing a West Ham shirt, and also it could technically be 4 because he got the final touch when Lacazette pulled one back in the 3-3 against Arsenal.
Yeah,
during lockdown, and it got given to Lacazette. But Tom actually had the final one. So it's kind of 3.5, 4 career own goals, but he's excelled at that since he joined us.
He certainly has. I was trying to think of the I thought it was 1, but 2. But can either of you guys remember
I've
The
got
other two own goals?
Tottenham,
Rio?
and West Brom.
West Brom. Was the West Brom one the similar to tonight's, the header?
It's not
Well, no,
ringing.
he misjudged the corner apparently, and nodded it past. I think I'm trying to recall the actual thing. I'm going to just watch it now to refresh my memory.
Okay.
I don't. It certainly wasn't as bullet headery and kind of Bob Latchford-esque as this one was tonight, but
yeah,
it's not available at the moment. But
typical. Let us know on the live stream if you remember that goal. I think actually I'm not thinking about a West Ham goal at all. I'm thinking about, was it the one that we got at Everton the other day, which was quite similar? The corner come over near post in it, and we nodded it on. It wasn't Souček at all. Anyway, ignore me. I'm going nuts. But anyway, if you've seen either of those goals, let us know what you think. What was your favourite Souček own goal out of the 3.5, as Rio points out, has scored so far? There you go. Before we go, we're going to wrap up fairly soon anyway. But a couple of things before we do. I'm going to give you the final scores from the Europa League tonight, and also news of goals in the ties that's still taking place. Galatasaray 1, Lokomotiv Moscow 1, that one finishing in a draw. Sociedad 1, Sturm Graz 1, the Spanish side coming from behind there to earn a share of the spoils. Genk 2, West Ham 2, of course, I've been watching that one all night. Rangers recovering from a goal down in Brøndby to secure a draw. Lyon comfortable victors over Sparta Prague, winning 3-0. Legia Warsaw were 1-0 up against Napoli, ended up losing 4-1 at home in the end, which sounds like they must have had a horror second half, because I think that was 1-0 at the break. Eintracht Frankfurt stealing a win in Greece tonight, beating Olympiacos 2-1, and Monaco and PSV finishing in a goalless draw. Some ties taking place currently, and one that's very, very relevant to West Ham United. Being played in Zagreb. Dinamo Zagreb took the lead after just 8 minutes in that tie. Nash Mulner scoring the opening goal. But I've just noted that the Austrians have equalised. I'm trying to see who scored that goal. I can't find it right now. But anyway, it's 1-1 in Zagreb. And I think, would that put us through? I'm not quite sure. That would leave all of them on 4 points. So there's no way that we could be overtaken then, is there?
All permutations have been thrown my way. BT was certainly reporting that if there's a result in that game, one way or the other, that we'll definitely go through. We'll be guaranteed at least second, I think, was the inference. So, but we'll certainly get out the group. But I mean, if it is a draw, then what does that leave everyone with?
All got 4 points if it stays.
All got 4 points. We've got 2 games to play. So not all. Well,
they can't. Well, the two of them could theoretically get to 10 points, presumably, if they both beat us and then, win one of the other games.
Yeah.
Or both
because
beat. I think
they're playing tonight again, aren't they? So they won't be playing each other again. So it'll be if Zagreb presumably got Genk to play, we play Genk next match while we play Rapid.
Yeah. So if Zagreb win and beat us, they're on 10. Genk win.
No, well, let's say that both Rapid and Zagreb beat us, and then they both beat Genk.
Yeah,
that puts us and the other two all on 10 points.
Yeah, so it comes down to goal difference at the end of the night. Well, I'm saying that, is it goal difference, or is it as they do in Europe generally against that particular team? Yeah. Not sure how the Europa League. But anyway, it doesn't really matter as long as we go out and win our next game. We should be.
It's first position in the Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. We're top of the group anyway. We're 6 points clear, so that's I guess the most relevant thing to come out of tonight as things stand. Finally, gentlemen, let's take a look ahead to this weekend. Top of the table clash. This one, is it first v fourth or second v fourth? Isn't it? Liverpool is second at the moment against joint third. I mean, let's call it what it is, chaps. Joint third place, West Ham at the moment with Man City. No, we can't look at this one and I think rule out the possibility of one of PGMOL's finest having an effect on this game. We've seen it so many times over the years, but trying to sort of take that out of the equation. What are your thoughts ahead of this one? Big game for both sides.
I mean, they always get a rub of the green, don't they? I mean, the good news is that it ain't Mike bloody Dean. So that's the best news that you'll get.
Who is the ref? Has they been appointed already?
Yeah, Craig Coulson, I understand.
Okay.
So I haven't looked at what he's done for us recently. I don't think Percy's at that stage of the preview writing process at the moment. So, yeah, I mean, what the players were saying, well, let's just go for it. We've got a week off afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Now, I don't know if the highlights I saw of the Brighton game last week. They started off like a train sort of Liverpool and looked very irresistible. But in the end, Brighton were very unlucky not to actually win the match. Late goal ruled out for, I think, a fractional offside sort of thing. So they're doable. And for all the media sort of hype about them at the moment, you have to say that a lot of their wins have come against sort of poor sides or potentially good sides playing poorly. You look at the fives they've got. They've played Norwich, they've played Burnley, they've played Southampton, they've played. But the games they've dropped points in are Manchester City, Chelsea, and Brentford and Brighton. So, we've seen Manchester City. We haven't seen Chelsea yet, but we've seen Brentford. And, I'm sure. I think if those teams can get something out of games, damn sure we can. So I'm minded to go for, if you want a prediction out of me, I'm minded to go for a 2-2 draw. But, with the usual caveat that if that's not what Craig Coulson wants, then it won't be. So.
All right. Fair enough. I'm just, while we were chatting there, I've just pulled up Paulson's stats for this season. He's officiated 7 Premier League games so far, a total of 26 yellow cards and 1 red card. I'm just trying to see who he sent off. It was it was a Leeds player. I'm not quite sure who it was or when, but I can tell you that much. He's also done 2 World Cup qualifiers, a UEFA Nations League game and a Europa League tie in total. So it's 11 games in total, 40 yellow cards altogether, 2 red cards at an average of 0.18 per game and 3.64 yellows per match. And he's given an average of 22 fouls a game, which is, I suppose, it's pretty standard on level with anything. We've not really had any issues with him before, have we known? Paulson doesn't really speak to my
head. But, they're all much of a muchness, really. They're either, but whilst on the subject, I'm beginning to wonder whether or not at some stage last season, after yet another calamitous self-promoting wrong decision by Mr. Dean, if we might not have adopted the approach that some other teams have taken and politely asked that he never be allowed to darken our doorstep again. It has, I mean, obviously, nobody will ever admit that if they're asked that a referee doesn't go somewhere, that PGMOL will never admit to agreeing to that.
Yeah.
But I know Southampton did with somebody last year. It might even have been Dean. And if that's the case, the PGMOL have been sort of quietly not giving him our games, then I'm all for that.
Yeah, for sure. Wayne Charlton on the live chat says it is indeed a 6-pointer this weekend, but not like the ones I'm used to. Very true,
Yeah.
very true, Wayne.
Not preceded for once by the word relegation.
Yeah, indeed. Steve Palmer saying, yes, strange territory at the moment. I can tell you that the red card that Craig Paulson gave was, as I said, a Leeds player, and Guess who their opponents were?
Liverpool, yeah, must be.
Yeah, Leeds 0, Liverpool 3 on the 12th of September. It was Pawson, his only red card. And the player sent off was Pascal Strick on the hour mark. Apparently, not quite sure. Sorry, Rio, have I just stolen your thunder there? Were you going to come in with that?
No, you carry on.
Okay. All right, good stuff. I'm going to come to you anyway, Rio. Sorry. Liverpool, West Ham United v Liverpool, 6-pointer as the chaps on the live stream have pointed out. How do you see this one going?
I'm entering this weekend with a lot of trepidation. Liverpool in excellent form. They've got a front three who are backfiring as they have done for most of the last 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
We've got a very tired-looking squad. Picked up a couple more injuries, obviously, since last weekend in Vlasic and Yarmolenko, which is why they didn't feature tonight, probably. And the man in form at the moment, Mo Salah, up against Aaron Cresswell, possibly, who yet again hasn't had a break from first-team football. I just fear for us a little bit, I've got no doubts that we will not produce a performance like we did in the first 45 tonight. I just fear that their pace, their power, it could exploit any kind of weaknesses we have. I think Moyes will get the mentality right. It's just whether the legs and the minds are there and switched on fully.
Prediction, Rio?
I think we'll probably succumb 2-0, unfortunately.
Okay. I think I'm kind of with Gnome on this one. I think I can see a draw. I can probably see Liverpool going in front, and at some point there's bound to be a really contentious decision from the officials which goes against us. You never know. It might go in our favour. We've had quite a few of those. Interesting. One of the things I've noticed in the last few weeks on the opposition view is fans saying that West Ham are now getting the decisions because we're seen as one of the stronger teams in the division, which I'm not sure I've necessarily seen that.
Talk us through that nightmare performance by the officials against Villa then.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was a lot of the Villa fans were making that point, which was kind of quite ludicrous, really. But yeah, there you go. Maybe that's just one of them things you see every week. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, I think, which means none of us are particular. Well, hopefully, as we were so overly confident, I mean, all 4 of us predicted a win tonight. Hopefully, as none of us are predicting a win on Sunday, it will go the other way and West Ham can surprise us all for a second game in a row. But yeah, there it is. West Ham United v Liverpool. It's a top 4 clash. We can say that genuinely now, which is pretty mad, I guess. Just goes to show how far West Ham United have come in the last few months, really. Just briefly going back before we wrap up, going back to Vlasic, David O'Rourke has kindly pointed out on the live chat. Sorry, David, I meant to come back to this earlier, but it slipped my mind. David pointed out that Vlasic was out tonight because he's suffering with concussion. Didn't point out when that happened. I hadn't seen that. I don't know if either of you chaps were aware of that, but there you go. That's why Vlasic out. Still no word on Yarmolenko, though, I don't think. No.
Yeah, no, I've not heard anything, and I suspect his days are beginning to be numbered with us. He's obviously in cracking form with the Ukraine national side. But if he wants to be playing for them, they'll only go for so long.
Yeah.
With him just getting cameos off the bench before they might. I mean, I say scoring for fun for them at the moment, so they won't drop him yet. But
yeah,
couple of iffy games for them, and if he's not playing regularly, is that going to affect his international career? Quite rightly, he'll want to be playing more regularly than he's getting games with us. So
it's like Yossi Benayoun all over again. It's like Yossi Benayoun all over again.
Yeah. So, maybe January.
Yeah. Well, not far away now, is it? Only a few weeks till the next transfer window opens. But that is just about it from us tonight. Chaps, final word. Rio, first, would you like to sum up tonight?
In hindsight, disappointing, but at half-time, after our performance, you would have taken the point, wouldn't you? So let's look at the bright side. We're virtually qualified. We're still unbeaten in our first proper European campaign for far too long. Look on the bright side, people.
Excellent. Thanks, Rio. Noam?
Can't better that, really. You know, we'd have taken a point at half time. The fact is we were so much better in the second half that disappointed not to get all three. Need to be a bit more clinical. Park that one away. Let's look forward to Sunday. I said earlier on.
Excellent. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for your company, as always. Not quite sure if we're going to be doing a show on Sunday because the chaps will be at the game. We'll have to see. Well, I will let you know in due course of course, on the KUMB.com forum, which is where we're all going to head to now to have our say on what we've seen tonight and see what the rest of you have made of the game. Do join us there. And of course, to discuss anything else relating to West Ham United Football Club. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel down there somewhere. And give us a like if you've enjoyed what you've seen tonight, because apparently it helps us out somehow. And that's just about it from us tonight. It's finished. Genk 2, West Ham United 2. West Ham have lost our 100% record in Europe, but we remain unbeaten. And of course, we are still unbeaten away from home in any competition since mid-April, stretching back nearly 7 months now when we lost 3-2 at Newcastle. I think it was the last defeat on the road. Absolutely incredible. It is a great season so far for West Ham. And let's hope it carries on that way this weekend. Big game, top 4 match, as I said, between West Ham United and Liverpool at the London Olympic Stadium on Sunday. If you're not going, why not join us here or on the KUMB forum? Have a great week, folks, and we'll catch you all again soon. Until then, come on, you Irons.
Night all.